Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us again today. We have quite the odd tale for you this week.
Yeah.
First of all, I hope you enjoyed Corey Dillon last week and
sure did.
His stretch. That was just, he's a prodigy. That's all I have to say. I mean, he was committing crimes when he was in like 8th grade. He's committing crimes at least an 11th grade level. So that's what was so impressive about it. He was, chasing people around with sticks. That's at least 3 grades ahead, 4 grades ahead.
To pull the police over before they pull him over. That's impressive.
That's impressive stuff. So good for Corey Dillon. But this week we have something different, as we like to do, throw a curveball. It's a Belgian tennis player.
Yeah.
And holy shit, it's a weird thing, and we're going to have a ball with it. So I hope you enjoy. He's an arrogant, drug-addicted asshole.
Sure he's not American?
That's the thing. No, he's got a specific type of European arrogance that's just... it's just wonderful. We rarely encounter it in Crime and Sports. That's the thing. We rarely do. Today we're going to get it. I'm very excited for it.
Right.
Quickly before we get into it, little house cleaning. Just, first of all, thank you for your reviews this week, of course. Your reviews help a lot. We don't know why, but if you haven't done it yet, please give us 5 stars. Go to the purple icon there, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. I think it helps on Stitcher too.
Supposed to.
Helps drive you up the charts. It's not our thing. We don't know, but it helps on the business sense. If you want to be a good person to the show, that's a good way to do it right there. You can go to shutupandgivememurder.com, or you can get everything related to crime and sports and small town murder. Right. And if you're not listening to Small Town Murder, good time to start right now. Listen to last week's episode because it was a crazy ass, insane,
doesn't make sense,
winding, weird tale. So check it out there. There's tons of episodes, 175 episodes.
You've got enough.
You'll find some good stuff there. Trust me. Listen to that every Thursday. Listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie every Friday. We're going to talk about bad romantic comedies and get into that and make fun of them. A lot of rants and raves from me, of course, there. Check all that out. There's new merch up all the time, of course. All sorts of neat stuff there. If you want to be a hero to the show, though, let's say you're a special kind of person. Yeah. You're a producer. You want to be a producer. You want Jimmie to mispronounce your name at the end of the show. Yeah. And, of course, you want access to tons and tons of bonus stuff. Right. You can do that very easily over at patreon.com/crimeandsports, or head over to PayPal if you just want to make a donation and be a nice person, and use our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com. Right. And that'll also make you a producer. But the Patreon stuff, this week our Patreon episode is, we're going to do classified ads again.
Right.
From, I have some ranging from the mid-'80s in Florida. So what are people looking for in the mid-'80s to Florida, Florida to the mid-'90s in Texas, to, of course, some LA Weekly ads from the 90s. And so there's some weird shit there. And it's always a fun time when we do the classified ads. So if you haven't heard an episode, we did it once before and it was absolutely insane. So check that out if you haven't heard it yet. It's a lot. It's a good time. That said, though, let's get into it, Jimmie.
Let's do it.
Let's have a ball here, because this is we have a weird one in front of us here.
Yeah.
We got to dive right in. I don't think we've ever done a Belgian before, have we?
I don't think.
I don't think so. I don't remember any.
Sure didn't stick.
We had a Finn. We had Nikanen, the ski jumper.
Right.
But no, I don't think we've had a Belgian.
Tons of Russians.
Tons of all sorts of Russians. They're always into some shit.
Yeah, they are.
They're always fighting and scrapping and doing something weird. But Belgium is a quiet little country. It is. Which we really have not touched on. No. So let's get into this with Bernard. I think it's Boileau. Boileau. B-O. It's Boyle. B-O-I-L. Boyle. E-A-U.
Really?
Yeah. So in French. So you got Boileau.
The Belgians speak French.
Yeah, because it's next to France. It's wedged between France and Germany.
Okay.
Is Belgium. So basically, it's like a. Think about it. It's like a buffer. It's like it's at a family gathering. If your two aunts don't get along, so you sit one of your cousins in between them to like fucking try to make conversation and keep. Belgium is that cousin who's just like, I don't know, aunt. No, she didn't mean it. Like, right? You were, yeah, she was, but she's not that fat. Stop. That's. You said cunt at the Thanksgiving table? That's a little... Is that a little much?
She went far.
Yeah. Oh, stop. Hold on. Put the knives down. Like, that's Belgium. It's your poor cousin who's trying to keep the peace. Bad stuff.
Between a warmonger and a serial giver-upper.
It's interesting. So, Bernard is what... I actually have a lot of relatives in Belgium.
Yeah?
A lot of Italians moved to Belgium after the war. I don't know why. I think because they were accepting, maybe. Maybe they were open.
Listen, man.
But Italy was fucked up after the war, as was Belgium. But I mean, I know like Italy, they were poor to begin with.
Right.
And then the war happened and decimated everything. And so a lot of people moved. My family came here. Some of them went to Belgium. A lot of them, some of them stayed there.
And were just like, I'm in the mood for waffles.
This is bad.
Let's go get waffles.
This is bad. Well, there's some waffles in the story as well, as a matter of fact, which of course made me happy.
Let's get waffles and talk about it.
Let's do it. So Bernard, our fella of the week here, he's born May 25th, 1959.
Okay.
So that's where he is. He's from, and I looked up the pronunciation of the city, and it's pronounced 45 different ways. There's the German way, and there's the French way, and there's the Dutch way, because the Netherlands is right there too, because it's Netherlands is another country it shares a border with. So it's a fucking mess. So it's Liege, Liege, but they say Lise in French, and then it's Liege, and then it's I'm sure it's something with like a in German. I don't know, something very. Making it sound not appealing somehow.
I've watched Who Killed Gregory on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's about this little boy that went missing. They found his body in the river, and it's a fucking disaster of a case is what it is. But it is spoken in whatever French shit that they speak, and then it's dubbed over.
Whatever French shit.
Hold on. It's way worse because it's dubbed over in English, and then it has subtitles that are different in English that are different from the fucking words that are speaking.
So you don't know which is the right translation?
I don't know what's fucking happening.
Okay, you got to translate it correctly. I'm sorry. Someone has to translate it correctly.
And then the subtitles got to match that shit because I'm looking at these words coming out of mouths that don't match up to shit.
Okay, I am going to say this, okay? The subtitles are probably more to be believed.
Okay.
Just based on how they make films. They made their film, and then they would dub it over in English for whatever audience. And then when you distribute a film, you have to have the whole thing written out to subtitle.
Got it.
So you have to subtitle
Transcribed.
it. So it has to be subtitled in every language for each region you want to sell it in and all that shit. So afterwards, they would have gone over it, and it would have been translated better than somebody probably translating on the fly or a dub over type of thing, because that's just a person doing it, a translator.
I got through 3 episodes.
Read
There's
it. It's
so much
better.
Shit to go still, and I quit
mute
because
and
I'm
read the
furious.
Shit. Mute and read.
You just learned 2 things about me, James. A, I watch shows with the subtitles on because I'm a fucking serial killer, and then B,
you know what though? It's actually good because we've had issues with the reading, and I actually think that's a good way to learn how to read. I believe it's good because it's like when you're a kid, you have books that are on tape. This is better.
Right.
This is you're hearing it, the guy's speaking it through his mouth, you're seeing it move, and then you're reading it too. It's great.
And then on top of learning that I watch with subtitles, I also, when get frustrated, take it out on a whole people and fuck French
and
right
then
now.
They're speaking French shit.
I'm furious at France at the moment.
You should be. Well, you're going to be furious at Belgium soon.
Bastards.
That's awesome. So he's born in Belgium, in this town in Belgium.
Yeah.
And I looked up this town, and it's like they have one of the oldest Christmas markets in all of Europe. Which is like, you remember when we go to Chicago, we always end up in Chicago in December on tour because, I don't know, we're assholes. So we're like, let's go when it's freezing. But I
love Chicago.
I actually love
I want
it there.
to go when it's horrible there.
Let's go. We've never gone when it's nice out. It's always freezing when we go there. We always need to buy an extra coat to go there. But I don't know why.
And then I'm pissy, and so are you, because I buy on Amazon and my shit looks dumb, and then you buy yours because you don't fit it.
Yeah. It's
You're
a
upset
mess
because yours never fits right.
Never fits right. So We're always in Chicago freezing our asses off, but they have those. Remember right across from my hotel, which was by Wrigley last time, they had the market, the Christ Kindle market.
Yes.
It's like that. Okay. They have one of those there. That's what that's modeled after, are these old Christmas markets from Europe. Because that's a German thing right next door to Belgium. It's all the same shit. So, yeah, they have one of the oldest ones of those. Much older than the one outside Wrigley Field, I assume.
Because we're only
just assuming. Right. I don't know. I'm not positive. I mean, we could have, who knows what... Who knows what the Native Americans were doing back in the day, but I doubt they were having Christmas markets.
Have they ferried to Germany
in that area? I don't know where they would have got it from. But yeah, this town, they have like a weird puppet festival.
No.
Where they put these fucking puppets are creepy.
Oh boy.
You know those weird old European puppets where everybody's like long-faced and pointy and they put these things all over fucking town.
It's like the one from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Yeah, that shit.
That's what they all look like that. But like old European-y too, like make even fucking creepier. Because they even soften those up for an American child audience. This isn't for that. This is like 1700s, like put this outside so the wolves won't come, you know? Like, it'll scare the wolves away. When your wife is menstruating, you put a doll outside to scare the wolves from the scent of the blood. That's what they have to be.
Holy shit.
I don't know what the fuck, man. So that's
what's scarier to a child, that fucking doll or a wolf eating their mother from between the thighs?
That's what I mean. Just
starting there,
attacking their mother's crotch. I'm not sure
which would be more horrific to a child.
Yeah, I think you'd probably you'd call for Daddy. There's a wolf gnawing on Mommy's crotch. That might be worse. I guess
it's getting Mommy's tenderloin.
Oh no. So maybe that's worse. The creepy town right away. The guy never had a chance. He's walking around this town with fucking dolls hanging around all over. But it's very, very. The story of his parents is fucking weird too. Like his father was a Belgian army captain in the 50s. Yeah. Okay, so mid 1950s, his father and some army buddies, I guess. They go they go over. Apparently, the Dutch Amsterdam, the red light district that they have going on was just beginning to blossom in the mid 50s. So obviously,
they just heard about
the military. Yeah, and this is like you can drive over there.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's connected. So. Yeah. You got like an hour and a half drive. You can go to brothels in the 50s.
Sounds great.
They don't even have fucking Playboy in the 50s. Never mind porn or any other way to whack it. I mean, this is like, holy shit. These guys have been pent up forever.
Right.
They're looking at the Sears catalog going, oh, look at those pantyhose on that fucking middle-aged woman there. That's what I'm talking about. They got nothing else.
Whatever the German equivalent is.
That's what I mean. I don't know what the leader hosing on their fucking... Look at the leader hosing on fucking Big Helga there. All right. That's what I'm talking about. And then they have to remember that.
Yeah.
To whack
Store
it to
that
later
in the
on.
Spank bank.
Oh, those. Helga's leader hosing on a warm day.
I love where she put that
screen.
Stein.
Oh, the Stein.
How'd she get that in there?
Then the wolves came.
Right. And got it out.
And it all turned around and wasn't the same. Wasn't as sensual after the wolves arrived.
Jesus Christ.
So his father, an army captain, and a bunch of his army buddies,
right.
I don't know if they're all officers or if he was taking the crew out, like, hey guys, on me, come on.
Right.
But they all go over to Amsterdam to
buy a round of pussy.
On me, guys. Brunettes on me. Let's go. So they go over there, and this is where his father meets his mother.
Wow.
His mother is a Dutch prostitute at the time. A Dutch, she's working in, and they go. It's not a high end brothel either.
Yeah.
It's a little lesser
one.
I think it's down toward the end of the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Once you pass some of the more glitzy lights, you're like, what's down there? Oh.
The raised scar girls.
They have
there.
something too,
right?
So that's where he meets. Bernard's mother.
Awesome.
Is here, and they have. It's a weird thing. I mean, she's relatively new to this.
Yeah.
And they fall in love over the course of, I don't know, however much you get for 100 francs or whatever. I don't know. They fall in love.
How much is this going to be? You have kind eyes.
I mean, he must be good.
Right.
Let's just say that. He's good. He's good.
What a charmer.
Wow. What a charmer. What a coxman that guy must be.
It's unbelievable.
To charm charm the prostitute out of a Dutch prostitute. That's pretty impressive.
charmed her out of her career.
Yeah. So anyway, over the course of this meeting, they decide that they're in love.
Yeah.
And he says, I live in Belgium.
Right.
I don't live around here. So if you want to run away with me, you can run away with me. They won't find you because she said, well, apparently she owed some, whatever. Who knows how they would get women to do this back then. And it's kind of an indentured servitude thing where you'd have some kind of debt and that would be part of and then you'd get more in debt because of room and board and all that
liquor
shit.
licenses.
Yeah.
So a lot of Jägermeister to make that money back.
This is like sharecropping, pretty much. Like,
unbelievable.
But you're much more of a meager harvest, I guess, in the end.
I mean, 1 week a month, the crops are dead.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So we got to take a break, sip some lemonade on the porch. But this is like sharecropping, basically. Yeah. And so she says that she's obviously not allowed to leave, so they have to come up with a plot to how they're going to steal her away from her Dutch pimp.
This is awesome.
Okay, so she devises a plan, and this is actually a decent, I don't know if I would have thought of this. She's like, how can I leave? So she decides the only way I'm going to be able to get out of here and be in a relatively public environment would be to need medical attention. So she slices her arm.
Oh, okay.
Not like her wrist, but her arm deep enough, like at the top of her arm, like it's an accident, like she was doing something. Oh my God, I sliced myself.
Wine and cheese for us.
Sliced myself.
I'm so clumsy.
Exactly.
Right.
So deep enough to where she's bleeding and needs stitches to where they have to take her to the hospital.
Okay.
So this is the plan, and the plan is
that's how bad prostitution is.
You'd rather slice your arm open to go to the hospital. Well, especially if you're an indentured. She's not like empowered. Like I don't care. She's not like at the bunny ranch, like saying I've chosen this, and like this isn't
glamorous.
This is not. This is. I don't even know if she knew what she was getting into when she got into this whole thing, because people were a little more naive.
Sure.
A Dutch girl in the 50s was probably a little more naive than somebody now who can watch horrible things on the internet.
Yeah.
So anyway, the plan is for his dad here, the army captain, to leave like everything's fine. Oh yeah, good job. Thanks a lot. Come again. The bells clang on the door as he leaves, A
little Asian cat waving goodbye.
Come again, sir. Yep, that's it right there. Have a good one. You know how that goes. The little storefront and everything, and they leave like everything's fine. And thanks. Oh, the hell of a prostitute you got there. Even when she wasn't bleeding, she was wonderful. So but the plan is for him to go to the hospital that's nearby and wait for them. Okay. So basically I don't know, whoever's running this brothel takes her to the hospital to keep an eye on her and everything like that. So they're in the hospital, and while they're in the hospital, though, she has a little more leeway because they can't be like, no, get the fuck over here in the hospital, because they'll be like, what's up with that shit?
Right.
So in the hospital, she says, I need to go to the bathroom, and the guy can't go into the women's bathroom with her, so she ends up escaping to the army captain waiting outside, and they run away to Belgium together.
Unbelievable.
Okay, it's a crazy love story, right?
I thought you were going to say that she needed to say she was pregnant. So
No. She sliced her arm up, but she left without getting medical attention. I hope she eventually got medical attention, because she didn't get stitched up yet when they left. She just left bleeding.
Unbelievable.
But that was a better way to do it, because they wouldn't think she would try to escape while she was bleeding like that. She went to the hospital to get stitched up.
What a story.
So pretty crazy, right? So anyway, they go back to Belgium and they set up. He gets out of the army, and his dad is a tough go of it. They have Bernard in 1959. They have a very tough go of it. He's an only child. It turns out there's some medical issue after he was born. I don't know if
mom had him.
I don't know if he ripped out his mom's innards or what, but I don't know what happened there. But it was a medical issue, so they could only have the one child. And the father coming out of the army, and the economy was it was sluggish, and where they lived, there wasn't a lot of opportunity. His father ended up being a waffle maker. Actually, that's why I said the waffles came up. His father's a waffle maker.
Of course he is.
Of course he is. Right. That's what I mean. It's like, obviously.
Unbelievable.
But his father wants to have his own business.
Okay.
So he opens, and this is like a big point of contention between him and his wife. They fight all the time because he opens a stand like a fucking stand,
really,
like a waffle stand,
like a hot dog stand for waffles,
but like a structure,
okay.
like a little wooden,
all right,
almost
one.
like the banana stand in Arrested Development.
In the middle of a parking
There's always
lot.
money in the banana stand. But that was on a pier where people go.
Right.
This is like near a park that's like at a base of it's like an outdoor thing where people would go, leisurely,
yeah.
but not like
not Monday through Friday,
not a crammed in like the lunch rush is coming.
Right.
None of that shit. So he thought this would be like he'd get slammed with tourists, and he thought he was being smart by doing this, but like nobody wanted a fucking waffle. While they walked around in the forest, and like you don't want to like walk up a mountain with a waffle.
No,
if you see all those little like yodelers and shit, they never have a waffle in their hand. It's rare. You don't see it very often. Cream on their chin and shit.
This is amazing.
Yeah, so they're the problem is now they're extremely poor.
Yeah.
So basically they're poor as fuck. They live in a rural area, kind of like, he grows up like basically like if Hansel and Gretel lived at the gingerbread house.
Yeah.
That's kind of how he grew up. Like that, it's like a house that's like, from what I understand, there's like no road to it.
Yeah.
It's like a house
Just
that like you have to like park and then like walk in the woods it's like a weird, I don't know how they got groceries. They couldn't afford groceries.
Yeah.
That's the honest thing. They couldn't afford fucking anything.
Damn it.
They had they used like a coal oven that they had. It was very,
good Lord.
What's his name? Charlie Buckets. It's very
filthy.
It's a very European bucket situation here.
Lots of cabbage soup.
Filling European buckets is what they're doing over here. So not cabbage soup. Do you know what they ate?
No.
I'll give you one guess.
Waffles?
Waffles.
That's it?
That's all they had. Literally, they had waffles that the father sold in the store, and that's all they had to fucking eat because they couldn't afford anything else because he had to buy stock for the store.
Yesterday's waffles.
Yeah, so his mother's very upset with his father for we're all starving.
I left a career, you fucking jerk.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, I know it wasn't great, but I had some independence.
It wasn't your favorite, but I was doing fine.
I mean, I wasn't allowed to leave,
Right.
but I had some money in my pocket.
You know what I had the day before you rescued, quote unquote, apples, bananas,
different stuff,
nutritious shit,
things that weren't waffles, especially when they have a child.
Right.
So Bernard grows up,
rescued me into destitute lifestyle,
into like a countryside fucking things are weird too because you have his mother's a weird one too, as you might imagine.
Maybe.
So the two of them are odd, and we'll talk about how this affects Bernard because he never had a chance to be normal. Let's just put it that way. His parents were fucking. Well, it gets worse. Trust me, because how he ends up playing tennis, you're just like, why would you make your child do that? It's so weird, dude. It's so weird.
It's like smacking rocks with a waffle outside?
That you would think. No, it's almost weirder than that.
Okay.
So, but the mother was like encouraging of him to play tennis. But anyway, she's mad at him because now they're raising a kid on waffles. And that's not really that nutritious.
I don't think that builds strong bones.
No. And Bernard would later on say that when he was a kid and he was first starting to play tennis, like, thank fuck basically that waffles back then they would put like a bunch of cream, like this sweet cream and powdered sugar on top. That's how he sold them. So he's like, thank God for the sugar because that's the only way I had energy to play tennis.
I had no energy.
Literally, it was like, otherwise I'm
anemic.
He's got nothing. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, so basically the family has almost exclusively waffles to eat. Like they would forage for berries and shit, like to put on the waffles, I guess. It's a blueberry waffle now, you fucking asshole. Here, look, it's a blueberry waffle. Can you imagine her at the thing with thanks a lot? Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, there's blueberries on it now. You feel better? Is that good? Not a waffle now I'm eating?
Holy shit.
So they grew up, this is ridiculous. So basically, this is up until the time he's about 10 years old. Only waffles. And then after that, and this sounds like so Belgian or I don't know, some sort of Austrian countryside shit to happen. I don't know where his uncle lived, but apparently the family comes into some money when a relative of the father's, one of Bernard's uncles, is killed in a shepherding accident. Like he has a herd, and it's like I picture him with the staff,
right?
The whole deal, the curly thing staff with a bunch of sheep around him,
beard and a big robe.
I don't know if he fell down a hill or whatever the fuck happened.
Stampeded him,
whatever, or if he just had a heart attack in the field. I don't know, but he died in what was called a herding, a shepherding thing. Like he died with the sheep, apparently.
Whatever hazard pay you get for that.
Well, he owned the flock.
Okay,
so that was the thing. So when he died, they sold the flock and came into some money.
Right.
So they finally had some cash.
Thank fuck.
Finally had some cash because it's been like 12 years of this waffle stand, and they're still working. He's just going there every day, standing there with like a funny Belgian hat on, probably.
Waffles.
He's looking over a hill. Someone coming? You guys know? Yo, you've been here before. Okay.
Got it.
Thanks. We're here. There's blueberries now.
I'm open.
There's blueberries.
We're open.
Please.
Anybody.
My son likes them. So,
I'm gonna blow your fucking mind with blueberries.
Blow your mind with that shit. So they came into some money, and by the way, Bernard said he never ever ate a waffle again.
After the money?
After that. After they got money and he didn't have to, he hated waffles. Literally to this day will never eat a waffle.
I don't blame him.
Fucking hates waffles. He's like, fuck waffles at that point. So he gets into tennis before the money, though, before they got any money. We're not talking, this isn't like millions of dollars, but it's enough for food.
Yeah.
So the other thing is when he starts tennis, he's interested in tennis because he saw it like in town, people were playing it, so he wanted to play, but you're dirt poor, all you eat is waffles. Tennis equipment's expensive.
Money, right.
So his fucking mother's a badass. His first racket, before later on when they saw he had some talent, somebody got him a racket. His first racket was carved by hand, like the racket part was carved out of wood, and they made like a kind of a tulip, a twine out of tulip stems.
Yeah.
Like if you strip and make things.
Out of the middle?
Yeah, she made twine out of that because I guess it's got some elasticity to it, a tulip especially.
Right.
And Dutch, she's tulip. She's a Dutch woman, tulips.
Okay, got it.
I don't know. So anyway, she made that as strings on the racket, and that was how he first started playing. But the fucked up part is, this is the most fucked up part, okay? Now picture this kid.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's a little Belgian kid. He's got waffle cream on his face.
Yeah.
All he eats is waffles.
Yep.
He's got a fucking racket made out of tulips and a tree.
Right.
Okay, like that's number one.
Yeah.
He's got a tulip racket with a fucking tree on it, and on top of that, okay, this is fucked up. When they didn't have money, his mother's Dutch, and she's very much wants him to know that he's part Dutch, basically.
Oh, boy.
And wants him to stick with Dutch culture. So there's a bunch of Dutch cultural shit she's very fucking, like, insistent that he do. Like, ridiculous things. But the most ridiculous one of all...
She made him wooden sneakers.
Jimmie, she made him wear wooden shoes as a child to know that he was Dutch, basically, the wooden shoes. But when he started playing tennis, those are the only shoes he had.
Oh my God.
So imagine a child going out there, just finishing up his waffle, picking up his tree tulip twine racket and clunking out there, clunk, 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 on wooden fucking shoes to play tennis. Think about that.
It's the loudest tennis match ever. Fuck the screaming and grunting. Yeah.
He sounded like a fucking stampede of horses coming through.
Unbelievable.
So that's how he's playing.
Oh,
so
the ridicule.
That's what I mean.
Oh,
think about the shit he took for that. Nice racket. Nice fucking, got an extra waffle, asshole. Like... This kid is fucked, man.
I mean, he's just lucky he doesn't have a waffle welded to a piece of stick.
We poked out the middle, and we poked out the middle of the and then the
waffle's just like 6
waffle
weeks
racket.
old, so it's really hard.
It's a stiff one.
It'll whack a ball back.
That's the thing. You gotta really don't hit as hard because there's no elasticity.
You seen a waffle cone?
Boom,
It kind of breaks.
It's like a brick wall, man. Pow! It's coming right off of that shit. So this is obviously a hindrance.
Yeah.
To being interested in tennis and playing tennis. But finally, after his uncle's fucking accident there, when they got some money, he finally got his first pair of sneakers.
Oh.
This is around 10.
Yep.
So he got a pair of like tennis shoes made specifically for tennis.
But he was playing in the clogs
before that, from the time he was 5.
with the wooden tulip for a while.
Fucking 5 years.
And he was good at it.
And he was good.
Wow.
Well, he got a racket after a couple of years because a local they should have gave him shoes. That would have probably probably been more helpful.
But at
instead,
first he was just like smacking it back with his hand.
It was literally, pow, just playing fucking handball out there. They're like, that's not how you play. No, I'm good. I got it. I don't have any money. Watch my backhand, pow. But I think maybe like one of the other players was getting rid of an old racket or something like that, basically, and he ended up with it. But for some reason, didn't get any shoes until he's 10, when he's finally given a pair of tennis shoes, and then at that point, he was fucking unbelievable. Like, because they
the right equipment.
They put shoes on him, and all of a sudden, now he can fucking move. Now he like can play tennis. It was like nobody could believe that like he went from overnight, like one level to the next level. They were like, "What the fuck happened?" From literally a day to the next day.
Wild.
Nobody could believe it, and mostly they couldn't believe it because none of that is true. None of that's true. He is born in Belgium on May 25th, 1959. Everything else, none of that's
no
true.
Waffles?
No waffles. His mother's not a Dutch prostitute. His father's not a Belgian army captain. No wooden shoes.
I was having so much fun.
Fact of the matter is,
I wanted that to be
I know. So did I.
We made a better story than he did.
That was this is where my mind went as a fantasy, because I couldn't find anything about his early life, like hardly at all. Just like his mom is, So we
made it up.
I just made up basically a whole childhood. And I thought, I'm like, oh man, this and that. And somehow, I don't know. I love when you take your headphones off. That's what I know. I got you good. So, I don't know what happened.
Forever. There will never, ever be a crime in sports with there's not a much early life on him. Well, here we go.
Well, let's find one. So, my 3 a.m. my 3 a.m. stone brain.
We just made his mom a whore.
Oh, yeah.
We fucking
I did a lot
ruined
of
his
bad
dad's
things.
life for waffles.
Waffles. My 3 a.m. stone brain.
Oh, Jesus.
Said, I'm going to make a childhood for him.
That's the most fun I've ever had.
And that's the childhood. And if that was real, that would really be the most amazing childhood we've ever had in crime and sports history. That would be wild.
Holy shit.
The fact that we know nothing about Belgium made it kind of believable, didn't it? Kind of sort of believable, right?
I'll bet people in Belgium are going, this is crazy. How could it be so stereotypical to us? This is unbelievable. It's fake. That's why.
It would be like, he grew up in Texas, out in a ranch. He slept on a horse.
Right.
He slept right on the back of a horse. Like that's basically what he said.
He used to go up in the holler and fuck another man every year for 3 months. His boyfriend's name was Heath Ledger. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Couldn't afford football cleats, so we wore cowboy boots. It was hard to block with no traction. Eventually, he just dug them heels in and learned to use it to his advantage.
Became MVP. Best lineman ever.
He was all county.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a 22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
So yeah, none of that's actually
that
true.
was fun.
Yes, he's born in Belgium, in that town in Belgium. The stuff about the town is true. The dolls and the puppets and the Christmas market,
and
that's true.
The tenderloin.
Everything else isn't true. None of that is true. He's born. His family, basically, they're blue collar. Okay. They're not rich. They're not poor. They're just blue collar. With laborers. His dad and his mom both work, and he grows up modest.
Yeah.
There's some good facts here because it's hard to find. It's really tough to find things that are some of these European athletes. I don't know if I'm not Googling correctly or whatever, but I have a hard time finding information a lot of times on some of the European ones, especially from more than 20 years ago.
Maybe the internet translates like fucking subtitles do, and you got to put a different word in there.
That's the other thing. I've translated so many things from Dutch to English and from French to English and all this different shit. So German to English. I've been translating my ass off. This was a difficult one to put together, but a lot of good information that was nowhere else came from an excerpt from a book called Histoire des Scoops, and it was published in 2017. It's by Patrick Haumont, and this Patrick Haumont, I knew Bernard pretty well. He was in the tennis, tennis culture and knew him. So a lot of that's from there. Basically, Bernard was a really good tennis player from a young age. Yeah. He's gifted. He grows up to be 6'1", 170 pounds. Yeah. And back then and in Belgium, he had like muscles and he was like in great shape. And for a tennis player, he was a really good athlete back then. So, everybody says he was the Belgians there. He's by far the tennis player of his generation in Belgium. And even he looked like he might be the next European star.
Really?
Just in general. Yeah. They said, basically until he was about 20 years old, people were scared of him. Like Yvonne Lendl, people like that who were like the big shots over there. Bjorn Borg. And,
I've heard of that name.
Bjorn Borg, his name is. Yeah. That guy. They were very much looking at him like, oh man, he could be a real force here in a couple of years. We're going to have to watch out for him. Everybody said he had a really good feel for the game. He could, it's kind of like a center fielder in baseball. Sometimes guys are just really good. They break on the ball at the crack of the bat.
Yeah.
As soon as the ball hits the bat, they have this weird thing where they immediately know where the ball is going to be.
They know trajectory and all that.
From it's 2 inches off the bat, they can tell, and they start running to that spot immediately. Tennis has a similar thing of you can tell just from certain things, kind of like how Dennis Rodman got rebounds.
Yeah.
Was he just had this weird thing where he could just...
That's a great point.
He could tell where the ball was going to bounce off. It was just a weird thing.
I've watched it on TV, and they are moving as soon as that ball comes off the racket. I mean, they're not far from it either.
No, it's coming fucking 100 miles an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
The difference in distance from the ball between a center fielder and a tennis player is vast.
It's so vast.
It's right there when it comes off the racket, and they know exactly where the fuck that's going.
Absolutely, and that's some of it's ingrained, some of it's learned, some of it's just picked up. But there's certain guys that have a more of a talent for it than others, and that's what they said he was really good at. He could just sense things that were happening, knew where a ball was going to end up, knew what the opponent was going to try to do. Just had a great feel for the game. They said his technique was perfect. He was, really a force to be reckoned with here. Now, at age 15, 1974, at age 15, he's offered a big contract by the Royal Leopold Club of Brussels, which is some sort of tennis club. I don't know. They had these tennis clubs because tennis was a big spectator sport in Europe and remains that way. But back then it was
Wimbledon and shit like
the
that.
French Open. They love that shit over there. So
they put like as many people watch a football game. Into that place.
They
it's fucking
love
crazy.
it. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. They do. Don't they do it at Oh, shit.
Wembley?
Do they do a thing at Wembley?
I think they
don't
do.
know if they do or not.
I'm pretty
think
sure
it just
they
sounds
do.
like Wimbledon. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I don't know.
So,
I could see it.
Either way.
I swear I can see that word at the bottom of a fucking thing.
Somewhere in there. So, but tennis was a similar thing back then.
Mm-hmm.
So they would sign young kids to contracts much like they do with soccer players
Really?
now. Yeah, we always hear about that,
At 14 or whatever.
Yeah, where they would see a talent in somebody and sign them for whatever. So this club signs him at this point. He stays with this club for a couple of years. Now he is just taken care of with this. He doesn't get paid, but he gets like luxury accommodations, car, all of his meals paid for, and he's got sponsorships from equipment people. So he's got money in his pocket, but that's what the club does for him basically. So he is just basically moves to Brussels.
Awesome.
He's 17 years old and he's like king of Belgium.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty, I would say,
Yeah.
it's fucking amazing.
I can't imagine.
That's in a small country like that too. You can do things like that.
Sure.
Like you can be this like kind of unmatched star
Right.
in a small like the U.S. It's very hard to be how many guys like LeBron was like that when he was coming out of high
Kobe
school,
was like that.
Kobe, but I mean LeBron,
But not near as LeBron.
No, LeBron's high school games were on ESPN. Like,
Right.
that was fucking
That was weird.
insane.
Yeah.
With Kobe it was just like, hey, that guy's going to be pretty good. He can dunk well.
Well, at the after the McDonald's games, that's when his got to be a big deal. But they knew he was going right to the NBA.
And his father was a ball player. Like
Yeah.
they fucking knew what they were getting with that guy right away. Whereas
Right.
LeBron, it was just like, dude, that guy looks like he's 27.
Right.
And
He's in 7th grade.
And he's in the fucking 11th grade and he's just dominating people out there looking fucking mean as shit. He was like jacked.
That's like the only one though.
That's it.
Even Kevin Garnett, he went to into the NBA after high school, but it wasn't like this was.
No, it wasn't like LeBron. It's very rare that somebody is that
Wild.
Is that known, and this is kind of what he was in Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, well, let's get a quote from him. He says, quote, "From the age of 18, I could have lived tennis, but there is already a very important problem," and which was that he didn't have a coach at the time. Not at all. Basically, he didn't have a solid coach, and he would just kind of have a lot of free time. So he's this kid who's got money and people kissing his ass and a nice place to stay and a bunch of free time.
Yeah.
So obviously he's going to fuck up some.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not? And everybody telling him he's great.
Right.
That's a dangerous relationship there to do that. It's
in the 70s.
Yeah, this is in
boy.
the mid 70s too. So you could really get into some debauchery there. So and he was too. He would kind of take tennis less and less seriously and just kind of hang out. He said that the when he was with the Leopold Club of Belgium, that's when he was really like living it up though. He said, quote, this is his quote, "My contract with Leo ensured me the enjoyment of a flat Avenue Louise," it's a flat on Avenue Louise, "and a sports car from the age of 18. All my meals were served to me in the Leopold clubhouse. I did not receive any money, but since I already had contracts with the equipment manufacturers, I had a nice sum per month."
Yeah.
So he's just doing great basically.
Food, water, and shelter, and an income. He's thriving.
That's it. Hanging out. Yeah. He said he was just hanging. He said, then, he trained a little bit. He said that was it. Here's his schedule. He gives it, quote, "For the rest, I was not subject to any rules. I did what I wanted. My days were almost the same. I woke up around 9 a.m., trained twice for 2 hours daily. Then from 4 to 10 p.m., I spent time with my girlfriend. And then most often I went out to clubs." Yeah. So that's a nice...
Living it up.
What a nice fucking a nice time.
Jesus.
And the thing is, this is his first kind of taste of not only of nightlife and of like being an adult and being out, but this is his first taste of not being like, lower middle class.
Right.
So he's like, whoa, this is a different thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other players, tennis is not a lower middle class game.
No.
A lot of the other players are from
wealthy
families, they're country club people. It's like golf. It's
lots of shirts with collars.
That's, you just don't hear a lot about this kid from the wrong side of the tracks. He picked up a racket. It happens, but it's not a common thing that's the most occurring. Like you'd see like a defensive back or a center fielder or something like that.
Very rare
pitcher.
To see a man ready to serve and you can read his neck tattoo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not
a lot of only God can judge me tattooed on people's necks.
Usual. Yeah, War Machine didn't go out and play a lot of tennis, basically. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, the Bride of Frankenstein tattooed from their ear to their clavicle.
Unfucking man. That's what you want right there. So, and he says for his part, he said it was a lot of influence of the older guys around there that were part of the club because he was like the youngest guy. Yeah. He said, quote, I was strongly influenced by my elders like Eric Drossart or Patrick Hombergen, who were also former tennis champions who were older than him. Coming from the bourgeoisie, they were used to going out, and I, on the other hand, discovered a world that the modest means of my parents did not allow me to associate with. So for him, it was like, this is all new.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
This is wild.
You can go out and get like nice food and stuff. I never saw that before. Right. I grew up on my waffles. And how great would that be if that was true, honestly? Fuck
the whole time throughout the rest of this story now, I'm going to see him resorting back to being a child.
Yeah.
With his ex-prostitute mother.
Listen, Mom, I don't judge you.
Right.
Only God can judge my mom tattoo on his neck. Only God can judge my Dutch prostitute mom. It's a long tattoo, but
only God can judge Greta.
That's it. Only her. It's only God.
Holy
did what
fuck.
she had to do, man. So, Jesus Christ. So, anyway, at the age of like 18 here, he ends up coming to America.
Really?
Yes, to train and to be more. It's regularly. He comes over a bunch of times, but then he moves there
Where at?
Semi-permanently. Well, where's the worst place he could go? Where you go?
Jersey?
Florida.
Yeah,
there
close
you go.
enough.
He's going to Florida in the 70s, which is just
welcome.
A fucking mess.
Isn't it sticky?
Yeah, it's the worst. So he's coming from this Leopold Club of Belgium is apparently the most kind of wealthiest chic club in the entire country. By the way, country club. It's the most badass club there is. So it's one of those places.
Where's he going in Florida though?
All around because he's going to play different things and train in different ways.
Throughout.
Yeah. So he ends up going there. He ends up going to Florida, where obviously a nice Belgian boy is going to be corrupted by Florida because it's Florida. Pretty much right away when he gets there, he smokes his first joint.
Really?
Yeah. He's like got right into weed. Yeah. Like they were like, yeah, this is Florida parsley. This is.
It's a Florida cigarette.
You got to smoke this up. Yeah, have one. What are you doing here? So he said, okay, smoked a joint. He liked it. Yeah. He was like, oh, this is good because he had a lot of pressure on him.
Sure.
So he was like, I like the relaxation. And also, too, the Belgians, they are drinkers.
Yeah.
Just they're European style, whereas alcohol is not considered as much as like
a taboo.
Not even a taboo. It's just considered what you do. You just have drinks. Like if someone was like, let's say someone was a heroin addict, like that's fine, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't have a beer at dinner because that's a beer and it's a cultural.
It's entirely different.
Yeah. And there's different ways, obviously, they look at it, but that's generally the culture because it's, like wine in my culture is not considered
booze.
Really booze. Yeah. It's just, that's wine.
What do you mean you're not going to drink? Okay, don't drink. Just have some wine.
Yeah. You eat it with dinner so it tastes good and you do the thing. What are you doing? I have to have a glass of wine. It's you out of your fucking mind. It's kind of what it is here. So he's really kind of trying to get his legs under him in this situation, trying to figure out who he is. When you're 17, you don't know who the fuck you are anyway. No. You're trying to figure out who you are anyway. And now you have people from the outside kind of telling you who you are if you're an athlete and sort of thing. And we see that a lot with a lot of these guys, even when they're high school athletes and things, if they're not professional. Once money's involved, it's different.
Yeah.
And
he's not even in high school. He's not even doing high school.
Fuck no.
He's just playing sports. That's it.
Yeah, he's just doing tennis.
He's an adult already.
Oh, yeah. He's hanging out, practices a couple times, goes to the clubs with his girlfriend.
Right.
And that's an adult life. Right. Like a lucky adult, not even just an adult.
As far as I'm concerned, he's already winning.
I would say. And he said from there, the problem was he started smoking a little weed and none of his tennis suffered from it. So he was like, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be hurting me.
Yeah.
So fuck it. He said, quote, well, you know what? Let's do an in their own words on this one here. Let's get something, because I love an in their own words. Let's do in their own words. Quote, I wanted to taste all the pleasures of life. I did it with all the more carelessness, as money was never one of my major concerns. As of my 18 years, I offered myself a joint of cannabis from time to time.
Okay.
So there's that. That's his... I love the way he talks, though. It's a funny translation.
It's elegant.
Yeah, even the translation of it's not clumsy. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I sound like shit reading it, but he sounds probably great saying it, I would assume.
Yeah.
So he says everything was going well. He says, quote, the decline had been slow. I continued to play well, and since the competition was minimal, he was doing fine. Yeah. He said, basically, over there, he was the best guy around in Florida, so in this training center he was at. So it didn't really bother him. He was like kicking everybody's ass, smoking weed at night. Yeah. No problems at all. He was kicking the shit out of everything, smoking it up. And, but he also, when he started playing in tournaments with bigger guys, it became a little bit different. His dad said that his dad could see from the outside that he looked like he was kind of drowning a little bit. Not drowning, but
like he was stoned.
Flailing. Yeah. And he out of his element. Yeah. And it's tough just being a Belgian guy in Florida. Like you're not like the language is different. You sound weird, and everyone in Florida is like, what? Well, there are a bunch of shit kickers down there. So especially in the 70s. Right. 70s wasn't a bunch of everybody. It was bad stuff down there. So they were just like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Right. You just get rednecks.
There weren't celebrities moving there on purpose.
Just rednecks that were like, you could buy swampland for nothing down there. And just put a house on it and fight the gators off. It's fucking crazy.
The same excuse Omaha still has. It's cheap.
It's cheap. That's because, I'll explain that quickly. We went to Omaha to do a live show, and let's just say when you get there, the number one question you want to ask is, why would people live here?
Why do you do this?
Why? And so we asked everybody we could, Uber drivers, people at hotel, and all these people. We go, hey, what do you like about Omaha? Yeah. And they go, because we weren't like, why do you live in this shithole? We're trying to be nice. We're like, what do you like about Omaha? And they go, it's cheap. It's affordable.
Every last one.
To a fucking person, like a dozen people.
It's like they paused and were like, what's the answer to this?
Yeah, I don't know. I know. I guess
I know the answer we've all voted on collectively. Yeah. It is, it's cheap.
Can't afford nowhere else. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's cheap, and it's so fucking weird. No one had any other answer. Not like even it's pretty, because it's not, or the people are nice because they're really not.
Baseball,
nothing. Just it's cheap.
Mattress Factory's all right.
You can work there, or just walk around. It's nice to look at the mattresses. It makes me feel.
It's a restaurant.
Oh.
I ate there.
The Mattress Factory?
Yeah. Because it used to be a mattress factory. So and now it's like a bar and grill, and I guess where everybody congregates at night.
See, that's the problem with Omaha. That's it right there.
You're confusing yourself.
You get a place and it shuts down, and you go, I'll just keep the same name of the place. Yeah, but that's not the same kind of business that you run. It's all right.
I'm going to go down to Chuck E. Cheese and get me a new Lazy Boy.
That's what I got to do. I was just going to...
I got to go over to Avis because my refrigerator quit working.
Taco Bell's got a special on lube jobs. I think I want to take my car down there. Give me a burrito while they're doing it. Oh, they don't have many, but just lube jobs now? All right, shit.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Are you? You want a burrito? Yeah. You got to run yourself over to the bank.
Yeah, damn it! Pay attention, for Christ's sake. Eventually, everybody gonna trade signs. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure out who's
Friday,
mixed up. But
we like to take the signs and just shuffle them like a deck of cards.
It don't matter.
And we go pick one. Anyone doesn't matter. You can keep the same menu.
Shit, that's the Mattress Factory. What the hell are we serving?
Not a soda in the place.
Not a soda.
It's all meatballs.
Imagine someone walking in looking for a mattress being very confused. Are the mattresses in the back?
Yeah, the Casper's back? What do you guys got? Would you like... do
you eat while you look at... Do I get like a meatball sub and then walk around and look at mattresses? How does this work exactly?
Listen, dummy. The best thing on the menu, looking at the pulled pork mac and cheese. No, I need a mattress. No, Listen, boy. Our club sandwich is to die for.
Our club sandwich, it's a layer of blanket. And then we got this memory foam we put in there. It's terrific.
Layer of wool, a little bit of down.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, I don't even know how we got there.
With memory foam.
I don't know how we got to Omaha,
It
but
is
I like
delicious.
it. Yeah. So he's in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, his dad says that he's uprooted and he doesn't see his parents very often, and they say that he's kind of aloof to them too as well, and it gets worse because, like, basically, and his father even says it. His dad earns, basically the kid earns 5 times what his dad makes in a month in a week.
Oh, Dad's pissed.
So Dad's not pissed, but Bernard has an attitude about it. Like, I'm fucking, because now he's around all of these kind of upper crusty people, and he's like he looks down on his own family. That's of like, you fucking people are peasants, where it's like, yeah, they raised you to be, who fucking sowed your tulip twine? It didn't happen, but she would have.
You're here because of us,
Your
goddammit.
Dutch prostitute mother would have sewn you a tulip twine racket if you fucking needed one, asshole.
She
and now you're going to
carved
be a
your
shithead to
shoes,
them.
you piece of shit.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
I love his origin story.
I do
now.
too.
It's the best origin story ever.
You know what? Never mind the crimes. Good night, everybody. That's all you really fucking need, man. So yeah, he's making a lot more than his dad, which makes things weird and makes him act kind of shitty toward his parents, and that's what they don't get that. They're like, what's his fucking
you gotta
problem?
remember where you came from, bro.
Yeah, it's your parents, for Christ's sake. So it's weird. So, but the club that he's in, before he goes to America, the club that he was in, like I told you, was scheduled. They didn't schedule any like outside coaching, any like one-on-one specific intensive things that he could do. So he was just kind of fucking around, going to clubs and shit. So that's why he went to Florida, basically. And he said his father said once he left alone for a 4-week tour of the United States. Borg and Gerolitis, I know Bjorn Borg is the one.
I trust you.
Were there, and the guys were knocking hard. Bernard returned after 2 weeks, sickened, and preferred to remain king in Belgium. So once he did a tour of the United States, he was like, "Ooh, it's tough out there.
Those people are good."
Yeah, I don't want to. Why be the 14th best guy when I can be here and be the king of Belgium? Yeah. It's a little easier. So that's how it was.
Smart play.
Well, that's also kind of a pussy move.
Bad play in terms of the world stage, but I don't know, for yourself.
For you, it makes you feel good.
If,
but
if you got an ego about you.
That's like fucking, being a comic and being like, I'm going to stay right here in Des Moines. I'm going to be the funniest guy in Des Moines because I know if I go anywhere else, no one will think I'm funny.
Or being a high school athlete and being like, you know what? I'm going to do high school all over again.
That's all I'm going to do. Just do it again.
That college looks tough.
Well, you see, outside of Des Moines, they don't get my tractor chunk. That's the thing. See, I got a whole trunk on Huskin and just a tractor thing. And they don't get that. They're like, the jokes. I mean, they're kind of obvious. What do you remember? Like when you're sitting out on the tractor and the sun's beating down on you. That sort of shit. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really get it on the coast, if you know what I mean.
Also, up in Missoula, they've never heard of the Mattress Factory.
That's the other thing. I reference it. I'm like, Mattress Factory got the best spaghetti going. Everyone's like, what the fuck? He's been smoking fucking PCP or some shit before he went on that goddamn stage. He just said he bought spaghetti at the fucking Mattress Factory.
They've got it.
I don't believe him. Of course they do. Yeah. So with his parents, though, apparently he became super, super obnoxious. Oh, by the way, obnoxious to his girlfriend as well.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about, this is how hot shit he thought he was. This is at like 19, thinking he's king of Belgium. He forced his parents to carry his suitcases because he wouldn't carry them.
Oh my!
So he was like, "Yeah, you guys carry my suitcases for me because that's beneath me."
Right.
And then this is fucking amazing. His girlfriend at the time, ladies, imagine this, okay? He's a kind of a budding tennis star or whatever, but he wants her and insists that she walk 3 meters behind him, which is about 9 feet, 10 feet.
Lot.
It's like 10 feet behind him, basically. Right. Stay 10 feet behind me is fucking...
In case any of this ego falls off, pick it up for me.
Pick it up and put it back in my pocket for me because I'm going to... Wow, that's some...
Jesus.
What the fuck would you say to a guy who said that to you? About 10 feet. You want to get like 10 feet back? What the fuck? What do you got, the fucking COVID or what? No, I'm fucking going to stand next to you. No, we're not. I'm your girlfriend. We're not going to social distance here, asshole. What are you talking about? So, yeah, it's strange. So he's an asshole.
Yeah.
At 19, his parents have to carry his suitcases while his girlfriend trails 10 feet behind the party. Like, this is
unbelievable.
That's like he tried to make his own entourage is what he tried to make out of his parents and his girlfriend.
Everywhere he goes, it's got to be like a production, like we're going somewhere on purpose.
That's what I mean. And like, I'm the most important. I'll be out front. I can't carry anything. Other people do that. My girlfriend, there might be other women I need to talk to, so I got to get you in the back there. So it's
the grand marshal of this parade.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dick here. So he apparently he was very like one of the games he got thrown out of a game for arguing, and it was like they tried to some of the people in the tennis community tried to make a big deal out of it, and he basically didn't care. And in Belgium, they were like, "Well, he's good, let it go." So he was his bad behavior was being rewarded, kind of a thing. He had silver-haired middle-aged white men lining the streets for him, and that's the issue with these kind of young kid sports. Whenever you have tennis or golf or any of these things, the silver-haired middle-aged white men are even creepier because they're like,
there's fewer of you.
You're one of me. Right. You're one of us. Yeah. Like where they keep a distance with like a football player or something. Like they look at them as like a livestock almost. Yeah. These guys are like, look at you. You're rich and you're white. You're like me. This is what I like. It's just like I would like to be, except athletic. I'm not as athletic at all. I'm not
scared of you.
Yeah, exactly. So he says here, this is he goes through. This is basically his late teens. He says, quote, "I was on hash until I was 24. All right. During tennis tourneys abroad, hours seemed to last days, weeks were months. But when I smoked a joint, time passed much quicker. Yeah, it's more fun.
Seems to go the opposite for me.
No, it's quicker.
Time goes by so slow.
Yeah, you watch some TV, eat something, you fall asleep. Hey, where did that happen? That was fast.
That was yesterday.
He says, quote, "My tennis results did not dip, and in Latin America, South Africa, and the States, I could find everything I needed." So he's like, I was smoking weed, having a good time. And why not? When you're that age too, smoking some weed isn't going to affect you physically. No. If you're a 22-year-old top tier professional athlete, like weed is not going to look at the NBA. Yeah. Those guys run back and forth for 48 fucking minutes doing the most athletic, crazy shit you've ever seen.
73% are stoned.
11% are stoned.
90-11. Ruined. Like
real stoned. Like while they're playing.
Right.
Stoned. Because basketball is a much better game.
If you were that stoned, you'd be sitting in a lawn chair staring at the sun saying, ow, my eyes hurt.
But that was... When I was a teenager, that's what we used to do. Yeah. You'd smoke blunts and go play basketball, and you'd be you'd focus, and it would be great. My one friend played basketball on like 3 hits of acid for like 7 hours. I've never seen anything like it before. He didn't even like basketball.
That's wild.
He just saw a game and thought it was interesting and ended up playing like every game. It was a park with a bunch of hoops. He played 7 hours straight of basketball, just was going around inserting himself into games, and I'll be your extra guy, and like...
Unbelievable.
It was weird, dude. I don't know. We were like, what the fuck? We would play all the time. He never would play. And all of a sudden he goes out on his own, wanders the streets on acid, and comes back. I just played basketball for like 7 fucking hours, just soaking wet with sweat. What? So super strange. Anyway, he's doing fine. In 78, he started touring. And touring everywhere. And the following year, 79, he makes it to the finals at the Brussels Outdoor Tournament.
Yeah.
And he is the Belgian national champion. They have a Belgian tournament every year. The Belgian national champion every year from 78 to 83.
Wow.
So every single year, he's just the guy. Comes back to Belgium, knocks the shit out of all these people, knocks the waffles right out of their hand, and then gets back on the road.
Knocks the sprouts out of everybody in Brussels.
That's it, babe. So during that time, he's on the Belgian Davis Cup team, which is, I suppose, their like the golf team. Yeah, it's whatever their best international. We're going to put them together to fights to go against Switzerland. Right. I don't know. So that's close there too.
I think so.
It's all it goes. Okay, I know this.
Everything there is very close, right?
Well, you got Italy. Mm-hmm. Picture Italy kind of down to the right.
Right.
Down and to the right, okay? Yeah. Then just north of Italy is Switzerland. Uh-huh. I know that. Switzerland is right there, okay? And then just to the west of that is France. Uh-huh. France is there. And then along the sea to the north, Belgium borders France.
Yep.
And then the Netherlands is there.
Yep.
And then also Germany is next to France above Switzerland.
It's all crammed right together.
So it's all crammed right together. Yeah, all the shit is very close together. It would be like if, Missouri was fighting Nebraska when they have fights. So it's wars, I guess would be a better way to put it. When countries fight and shoot at each other and stuff. What's that called?
When a country's mad at another one.
Can't think of the word war. Okay. So, yeah, he's big on that. He appeared in 14 Davis Cup entries for his country. The first was in 1977 and the last was in 1985. I guess he did a bunch there. He appeared in 38 rubbers.
That's gross.
Yeah.
There should be more.
He put 38 condoms on and he set the world record.
He appeared in them.
Guinness Book of Record for most condoms applied. 38. It's very impressive.
That is pretty good.
Of which he won 22.
Really?
22 of, I don't know.
Whatever the rubber match is?
I don't know. 60.
Is that when, in the...
That would be the middle.
When each of you are even? And
I suppose there's a set to break it.
Yeah.
We probably not.
Probably.
Let's be honest here. He 16 of them in singles and 6 in doubles, it says here. In 1981, he was at a tournament in Belgium, Brussels, Belgium, and is on clay, and he was in the doubles deal here, and apparently won a title there. In 1982, he was in Grand Slam singles.
Really?
Yeah, tournaments. He started really being on the world stage. He made it to the second round of the French Open and then went to Wimbledon and also made it to the second round there.
Okay.
So won a match in each of those, which just to be on that stage and win a match
it's impressive.
It's impressive, and you kind of have to break in like that and win a match and go, oh, okay, that wasn't that crazy.
Seeing somebody that's actually decent at tennis, it's pretty impressive.
Oh,
and then
it's
to
really
see somebody
impressive.
That's really good at it.
Oh, it's wild.
It's unbelievable.
It's like watching any other sport where you're like, wow, how the fuck do you do that? It's just so, it's such an individual thing. Like it's so, no other skills lend to tennis. No other.
It's so specific.
It's like hitting a baseball. It's the same exact thing. Right. Like you can't do other stuff to hit a baseball better. You just have to keep hitting baseballs.
Right.
It's
anybody can put a ball on a racket. Anybody can hit.
Yeah, anybody can hit it. But to
put it where you want to put it,
hard,
unbelievable.
And then also
put spin and English and shit.
That's the other thing, to get it to go where you want. And also, like we were saying before, to have an idea of where it's coming off the racket, so you know which way to break
to return it. And then you have to take that quality and talent and return it in the specific place that you want it to go
to try to make
make that guy not know where it's going. It's an unbelievable sport.
It's pretty wild.
It's very basic, but fucking unbelievable.
But impressive athletically too. So his 82, he goes there, does that. He reaches the quarterfinals in Sao Paulo as well, down there. January of 83, he's in the $225,000 Hollywood Tennis Classic in Brazil. Okay. I don't know why they call it the Hollywood Tennis Classic when it's in Brazil.
There's a Hollywood everywhere.
I guess so. I guess the winner gets $225,000.
There you go.
It's a pretty good, hefty amount of money in 1983, and now, and probably for a while in the future. He ended up getting beat, though. He beat a guy from Ecuador named Andres Gomez, and then he apparently lost in the semifinals there. And he also he played. This is the richest ever tournament in Brazil's history. Most prize money, $225,000. Yeah, he said that there was so much money to be made in Belgium that he preferred to hang out in Belgium. He just liked it. That's one of the things that went against him, was he wasn't one of those guys that was like, I'm going to go out there and find the best competition, and I want to play fucking Bjorn Borg and fucking John McEnroe constantly because they're good. Like he was like, I can make money and hang out and just be worshipped in Belgium. Fuck it, this is great.
Also, the competition like being a big fish. To get $225,000 has got to be insane. Yeah. Meanwhile, if he gets like, I don't know, $8,000 here, $10,000 there,
same thing.
Scratch it all together and make $225,000 in a year,
and have his girlfriend 10 feet behind him and his parents carrying his bags. And what the fuck? Why not?
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer.
I can really show you how to make some money.
And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
So, yeah, he said from Monday to Thursday evening, he goes out in a club, goes out to clubs and shit. From Friday to Sunday, he plays in 2 or 3 tournaments, which he beats the shit out of everybody in Brussels when he does that. And then when he goes abroad, he, doesn't have quite the same luck, but he starts doing decently well here. He basically, everything was going well. July 31st, 1983, he is ranked 42 in the world. Number 42 in the entire world, and it's the highest ranking he'll ever achieve in his career. It's the best ranking by a Belgian since the creation of professional tennis in 1968.
Really?
So he's the number 1 Belgian ever at this point in time. Grace.
As fuck.
This is Grace. Yeah, he is at the top of his mountain, and it's about to really get bad.
It's about to yodel down.
Yeah, he is going to, much like his fictional shepherding uncle, he is about to take a tumble down a hill and be just stampeded by sheep. Unfortunately, that poor uncle, he really had it tough. But that money helped the family. I was happy to see that. So, the problem here is in 1983 is when he moves from weed to heroin.
Oh no.
Which isn't good.
No.
That's a big difference. Mm-hmm. There's a large chasm between weed and heroin. It's a lot. It's the difference between shooting a bullet and throwing one.
Right.
It's way different.
You're exponentially expanding your mind.
Oh, you're expanding a lot, including your risk factors and your hepatitis C infection rates and
your ability to actually function. You're changing your life to be dependent upon this.
Yeah, and he'll at times he'll talk about it and he'll say that he only sniffed it, he never injected it, but then other times he talks about injecting it.
Even snorting it is fucking bananas.
It is. And I fucking had a girlfriend in high school that did that.
Really?
I didn't know it till one time she was hanging out and there was some people and she was like, yeah, I'm doing this. I was like, pardon?
Yeah.
You doing what now?
I'm gonna go snort heroin.
Okay. That shit was like, pardon me.
So we're breaking up?
So yeah, that was a little, I don't think we were together after that, if I'm honest, but then we were back and forth, high school.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, it was weird. A lot of people back there were doing that, but luckily I don't think she got too deep into it. But she might have. She could be dead by now for all I know. I don't keep track of people. How do I care? So if she's not dead, good for you.
Congratulations.
Still don't want to talk to you. So anyway, he says he just was going around doing it, hanging out, doing some heroin, smoking some weed, doing his thing. He says, quote, this is a fucking good one here. This is, we should do another in their own words on this because he's out of his fucking mind. Let's do this shit here. In their own words, quote, if one day I slipped into artificial paradises, it's because I never had the appropriate environment. Overnight, thanks to my talent at tennis and the good results I had at the time, I started being treated like royalty with money flowing, while I was coming from a working class background where my pocket money was a joke. All this makes you vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor guy.
So vulnerable.
You poor bastard.
You downtrodden fuck.
Too easy is what he just said. Life was so easy that it's just boring.
Yeah.
Just boring. That's all. Fucking too easy. So the problem is he breaks up with his girlfriend, and this this really accelerates drug use and other problems here. He also, I guess, him and his friend were fighting. A guy named Gabriel Gonzalez. He's another tennis player. I guess they weren't getting along. So he's fighting with his girlfriend. He's fighting with his best friend, possibly because he was on heroin.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you might not be in your right state of mind. Like if you get along with people before heroin, then you start taking heroin and you don't like them anymore, might be the heroin.
Mood swings.
Could be you. That's all I'm saying. They're not, on heroin. So that's how that works. So yeah, he goes on that, and he said the heroin was just a big deal here. He said, quote, I felt more and more alone. As soon as I was away from home, I got depressed. I had already discovered marijuana during a training camp in Florida 2 or 3 years earlier. But that day in 1983, as we had run out of soft drugs, a friend offered me heroin. That I accepted. I knew it was unhealthy, but I didn't think I would continue to take it. Mm-hmm. Okay, no. That's a guy who's looking for something because it's
a guy that hates reality.
That's what I'm saying. Because if there's no weed, I'm just like, I guess there's no weed. Yep. I'm not like, well, I guess is there heroin?
Right.
I don't go to heroin as my fucking plan B. Oh, so heroin then. Okay, good.
You do bitch about it a little.
A little bitch, but I won't be like, so who's got heroin? Give me something.
What am I taking to make this not suck?
This sucks. That's on the road, though. Yeah. That's to talk to that many people.
Yeah.
I need it.
There's a lot of I wish there was weed here. That would be nice.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. But
there's never. Is there cocaine then?
I'll take anything else anybody's got.
Does anybody have Molly? What the fuck?
We've been playing. People offer me pills all the time. Like, that's okay.
I'd rather not.
I don't want any of that
the weed
shit.
Would be great.
Yeah, that's all I'm looking for. Sorry. Really looking for one specific thing.
No, but I've got mushrooms. Well, maybe.
Well, that's. Let's talk about it.
After this, I'll look forward to that.
After the show. Well, I'm gonna take that and sit on that for a while and think about it. So he said he was just for him it was like, just a fun thing. I guess we'll do some heroin, snort some heroin at first, and then after that it kind of got to be a little more of a habit.
Yeah.
As people say, it's kind of a cliche.
Yeah.
That's more addictive than heroin.
Right.
Well, that's because heroin's very addictive. That's why they use it as
the most addictive thing.
That's what they use it as. Yeah, the factor, the main deal there, the control.
Yeah.
So he says, quote, the day before an important match, it gave me the impression that I could calm down, to be able to approach the meeting in a calm and relaxed manner. Without realizing it, I was becoming addicted. There I dived. Dived means to do heroin.
To sink one in?
That's doing heroin, and being high on heroin is diving. He has always referred to it in this.
Okay.
And also he calls heroin, he'll call it hero a lot. They call it hero over there.
Oh.
So that's, I guess, if you want it really bad, it's pretty heroic.
I mean, when you're puking and then you throw a spike in your arm and then you're not puking anymore, that's pretty fucking heroic.
That's heroic. I did it.
Yeah.
He said, quote, I no longer had a fiance, no more coach, no more friends. I started taking heroes every day.
What a hero.
What a hero.
It really changed your life.
And that's what it was. He said his fiance walking out on him, really, that put him over the edge.
Unbelievable.
He was making her walk 10 feet.
Yeah,
okay, if someone made you walk 10 feet behind them, and this is the same woman, by the way, he's been with her for 7 years, makes you walk behind him and all this type of shit, and then on top of that, now he's doing heroin? I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm out.
The risk isn't worth the reward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even if I was with you for future success, I don't, your stock is dropping every time you stick a fucking needle in your arm here.
Right. The juice isn't worth the squeeze, sir. I'm squeezing and getting blood. This is gross.
It's fucking disgusting, yeah. So his fiance, who was also a tennis player as well, she was a women's player, she leaves him, and now he's just like, okay, well, time to get it on.
Yeah.
Now I can party. I have nothing. And he says, quote, this is his kind of whole story here. He says, quote, my attraction to the hero coincided with a sentimental break. My girlfriend, whom I had known for 7 years, left me. My drug use was also the result of an existential malaise.
Yeah.
I don't think any of our athletes have ever blamed their drug use on an existential malaise before. I can assure that, as a matter of fact. I don't think most of our athletes could fucking say existential malaise.
They sure shit
It's
can't
hard for me to say it. I don't mind them. Imagine Buck Zumhoff saying existential malaise. I got an existential malaise, motherfucker.
Corey Dillon trying to spell that to police.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen, man. Fuck me. So, we've had plenty of people who had a hard time reading. So Dexter Manley couldn't spell it to anybody.
Signed with an X.
That's all it was. I don't know why Buck Zumhoff pops in my head of going, existential malaise, motherfucker. I don't know why, because he would never know what that means.
No.
So yeah, existential malaise. I never digested the life of a professional sportsman. I never thought of using the services of a trainer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Never
even had
to work out.
Never had the idea.
Never even thought of it. Weird. I make a living as a professional athlete.
Right.
Maybe I should work out. Nah, this heroin's fine. He said, I never thought of establishing a career plan. I left a dissolute life, little compatible with the practice of a high-level sport. But despite this, I continued to win easily in Belgium. That's the thing. He can be a fucking junkie and win in Belgium, so he doesn't care. He can still be famous.
What's the difference?
Who gives a shit? This facility obviously did not encourage me to question myself. He says, rather than being content with winning victories in national tournaments without great sporting significance, I should have overlooked some of these competitions to better prepare for the Grand Slam tournaments and, who knows, climb into the top 10 of the world tennis hierarchy.
Right.
Yeah, and not do heroin.
Right.
That was also what you should have done. Yeah, so when you're a pro athlete, just to go over it, you should train and try hard at your sport and then try to succeed at it.
And then not to do fucking hardcore
heroin.
drugs.
Yeah, probably not do heroin and not work out and not train and not care.
Anything that requires snorting a powder or slamming a needle in your arm. Maybe get away from those.
Maybe don't do that part. Yes.
Unless it's just fucking steroids.
Then it could really help you, as a matter of fact. Especially him. He wasn't working out.
Right.
He was just gotten fat. So he said it was a little expensive, but he didn't really care because he had money. He says, quote, at the beginning, it cost me 1,000 francs a day. On the other hand, it became more and more difficult for me to go up the slope, he says, which is obviously to get high. Right. Yeah, he's chasing the dragon. I stopped between 25 and 30 times, but it was regularly a blow in the water. Yeah. So just nothing. I'm going to quit now, and then the next day he's doing it again. So
$1,000 or 1,000 francs a day, that seems like a lot.
I don't know
it's
what
probably like $20.
I don't know what the goddamn exchange rate in 1984 for francs to American dollars, and it's probably a lot. I mean, or a decent amount anyway. Because heroin used to be expensive. It's not anymore, but it used to be. It's fucking cheap now.
Yeah, because of pills.
Yeah, well, no, heroin itself is cheap. Pills are expensive.
But I mean,
people want it.
Right, because of pills.
Huge supply is what I'm getting at. Plenty of heroin out there.
But it drives down the price of street heroin because pills are fucking much easier.
Yeah, that too. Yes, it's a lot of people prefer them too. Right. It's a different thing. So
you don't have to put shit in your arm.
Most people start there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why they start there, and then they only go to street shit when they can't afford pills anymore. Because otherwise, the pills are, I assume, better. I don't know.
I would imagine
hate pills, but
much easier.
Yeah,
and just the answer to your problems.
I guess so. So he's in Nice, France in 1983, and he's in a doubles tournament with Libor Pamek.
Yeah.
That's his partner. Libor, Libor Pamek. Pimek. I don't know. They beat Bernard Fritz and Jean-Louis Halliet from France. They beat them.
They sound tough.
This is on clay.
Yeah.
And very exciting. That must have been here. 1984, he's a quarterfinalist at the 1984 Donnay Indoor Championships and a semifinalist at the Hilversum that year. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yep.
He upset a top 10 ranked player named Kevin Curran. He beat him. And then he has a victory in a Grand Slam match in the 1984 French Open where he beats a guy named Guy Forget. I assume it's Forger, but it's Forget. It's spelled Forget. Guy Forget is his name, which is fucking hilarious.
Most forgettable guy on earth.
That sounds like
Forget.
Yeah, that sounds like an app that chicks use to I don't know, forget about guys, I guess. Go to Guy Forget. We don't even talk about guys.
All you do is you just punch the name in, and then it goes into all your apps, and it deletes him from everything.
That's the thing. It deletes him from everything. It deletes Google searches that might bring up his name. If he murdered someone, you wouldn't even see it.
And then it also goes back.
Did we just invent an app?
It goes back through your Facebook, and it scrubs it so that it never reminds you.
Everybody, that's ours. That's ours. That's good. We're copywriting that. You cannot use that. We're having an app called Guy Forget.
And it takes you into Instagram, and it unfollows him, and then it takes all your tags off his photos and all his off of yours.
Yep. And then we're going to a guy version called Lady Be Gone.
Right.
And then it'll just wipe out every last drop of
memories
scratch
of her.
or anything she's out there.
Any comment she's ever left on anything, goodbye.
If she's in a news story, it won't come up on your Google search. Nothing.
Again.
She'll never come. If someone with her name, still it won't come up. If someone with her name becomes president, you'll never know because it won't come up on your computer.
Guy Forget and Lady Be Gone.
Lady Be Gone and Welcome. Guy Forget. Those are ours.
Buy our app.
That's fucking, we're going to do this, by the way. We just came up with something.
That's a genius app.
We just came up with something brilliant. Okay. So, all right. We might not be doing this show much longer. If this hits, I'm not doing this, so.
Oh my God, every day fucking relationships are ruined.
Yeah, we're doing this.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. So,
Untap.
Guy Forget and Lady Be Gone. I got to write that
Wait till you hear those apps sponsoring this show.
Yeah. That would be fucking perfect. That would be goddamn perfect. So, Jesus Christ. It's at this time he's doing a shitload of drugs.
Yeah.
And it's also at this time that a French player who'll come in play prominently in Bernard's life later on named Yannick Noah. He's making accusations in the public about drug use in pro tennis. He's saying tennis players are using drugs and we got to get drugs out of the sport, and he's that guy.
Calm down, fucker.
Relax, Yannick. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Here, puff give, motherfucker.
That's a
Here.
guy that lost and knows that the guy that beat him was smoking weed.
He's
and
like, he's high.
Furious.
I know he's on coke probably is what he's furious about. Just see him go side to side? That's bullshit. No one does
moves that fast.
Nobody has a shuttle time like that. I'm sorry. Nobody. So he said that, there was accusations there, but he couldn't prove the use of hard drugs there, obviously. But he did name a couple people that he thought were on drugs.
Uh-oh.
And the Bernard said that the people he named, quote, had the same problems I had, but they never named Bernard, I guess. He says, quote, I won the championship 3 times, the Belgian championship. I won the championship 3 times while I was a heroin addict. Wow. I was so talented that I managed to compensate for the negative effects of the drug. He's still pretty cocky, too.
That is a bit of an arrogant thing to say.
I was so talented. My natural gifts came through so much.
You have to wait for other people to say that about you.
No.
Nobody. Michael Jordan doesn't go on TV and talk about I'm so talented.
He actually does.
What did he say that?
He
says I'm so talented?
He says I'm so talented, I'm so great. Literally says I'm the greatest player that's ever played. But that's very specific
I've
to
never
Michael
heard
Jordan.
Him say that.
Oh, look at his Hall of Fame speech.
Really?
His Hall of Fame speech is like, you bitches thought you were better than me. Fuck that. I'm the best ever. God damn it. I'm fucking one-on-one titles. I don't give a shit. Fuck Bill Russell. I don't care how many rings he had because I'm better, motherfucker. It was like, whoa. It was like a score-settling bitter. It was almost
rap feud.
It was like if they were having a ceremony for people who specifically didn't get into the Hall of Fame. It was like the haters ball fucking thing on Chappelle's show.
Did he have like Nick Cannon behind him wilding out?
That's what I'm saying. That's what it almost was. He got up there and was like, yeah, so, I mean, I'm the greatest, so I should be here.
Cat Williams spitting a few bars.
Fuck Isaiah. Fuck that guy. I mean, LeBron's all right, but I mean, do you know that pose I do? Come on, man. I'm Mike. Get the fuck out of here.
I got a silhouette on the shoe,
yeah, dude. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, he was so...
I've never seen it.
Dude, look it up after the show.
Unbelievable.
Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame speech. I mean, people are like, oh, that's awesome, but you're like, yeah, that's an asshole.
That's the time to be humble.
He's
you know
a
what
fucking
I mean?
ass. Yeah,
They
they're
are
telling you how great you are.
Right.
And rather than him going, thank you, hey, man, what are you going to do?
Like, you're right.
He's like, let me tell you a little bit more about how great I am. I know they have a whole section.
Here's the parts you missed. I got a PowerPoint to prove it.
Carved my head from copper, but I'd like to tell you more. Okay, because I don't think it's been said enough. I'm wonderful. All right? He's such a fucking asshole. Jesus Christ. Just an arrogant asshole. He finally spoke out about something last week. I was like, wow.
Yeah, he did.
Holy shit.
Donated a shitload of money.
Wow. Amazing. Maybe if you did that 25 fucking years ago, it might have made a difference, Mike. Thanks.
You know what hurts my heart is just that he donated $100 million, which is fucking amazing to all these unbelievable organizations. My fucking personal problem where I sweat every day is going, that man had $100 million to give away. That's unbelievable.
That means he must have had some sort of...
It has to be disgusting.
His tax burden must have been wild this year. Not to be a jerk, but Mike has never been one to really let his social conscience run wild. So I feel like he's like, look... We started that company and we did the stock thing. Right. I made a lot of money here. I
put out 3 new shoes this year.
$100 million? I gotta write it. Wow. All right. Well,
do it all at once. What do you say?
I don't want to have to pay it to the government. Fuck it. I guess we'll do it. But it is nice that he did that. It's
unbelievable that he did it. That's great.
Yeah, I'm not begrudging that he did the right thing. I'm just took him 30 years to do.
I'll never make $100 million in my life.
No, especially not an extra $100 million.
$100 million. I just fuck
not
this
just
shit.
That, yeah.
I don't need this.
Jesus Christ.
$1/10 of $1 billion.
Fucking insane. Giving away. That's awesome.
Wow.
That is awesome. So, he said he was so talented that he managed to compensate for the negative effects of the drug. So much so that I thought it would not affect my physical and mental condition. And since the hero made me feel like I wasn't as miserable as I was, I kept taking it.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking on heroin. He's feeling pretty mellow. Feeling pretty good.
A goddamn hero.
Yeah, it's a fucking hero. He says, quote, this is later on, quote, from September 1984 until February 1988, I used heroin almost daily. Always sniffing. I never took shots, which isn't true at all here. So, I mean, he was obviously in a state of misery, whether he was on the heroin or not on the heroin. But you know what's not miserable, Jimmy?
What's that?
The sales that are going on in 1984, Betty.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Down in Shreveport, Louisiana, come on in here. Some used cars for sale down at Vacation Used Cars. We got 1977 Mercury Bobcat wagon.
Gross.
For $34.95 on sale there.
That's $34.
No. We got a 1977 Cadillac Fleetwood 4-door V8.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. This thing, you and your whole family could live in there and sail it across the ocean blue.
$8,400?
$59.95.
Not bad.
Not too shabby. Your 1978s. We got a 1978 Ford Granada.
Yeah.
$42.95.
Piece of garbage.
Got a Pontiac Sunbird 4-speed stick.
Gross.
That's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
2-door, 4-cylinder. Oh, boy. $35.95. That thing sucks. Wow. Yikes. Nobody wants that, man.
That is ridiculous. That one
Yikes.
better be $35 for real.
So bad. 1979s, we got a 2-door coupe Camaro.
Yeah.
That's not bad. They're V8 auto, big gas guzzler.
Long-ass doors on those.
Long-ass hood on those, boy. You could. Where's the end of it?
Yeah. It's a 2-door, but it's all the space of what 4 doors takes up.
It's totally
crazy.
$59.95. And then a Jeep CJ7.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll get on the mountains there. 4x4 with the hard top. V8 auto.
Hard top.
Wow. 4x4. Yeah, not bad. $57.95.
Jesus.
Which is probably worth more now, that thing. And also, you want a newer one, we got a 1980s, we got a 83 Ford Fiesta 2-door. 4-cylinder, 4-speed stick, $29.95. Jesus Christ. And then you take that new car and you head right to the movies.
Yeah, you do.
Where you sit down and you go to the Quail Creek Cinema there at the Shreveport Barksdale Highway.
Indoors,
I believe. Yeah, this is indoors. Sundays and holidays, first matinee show only. You can see Splash with Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah, which was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, because somebody stole it from the video store and I had it. So
you owned it.
So I watched it a lot.
Let's watch it again.
And Beverly Hills Cop. I watched several thousand times. I know every word to Beverly Hills. You can put it on now.
And play it again.
Every word I know. Fucking ridiculous. The songs start.
Such a good movie.
I'm like, oh, Pointer Sisters are coming on. There we go. I know exactly what's happening.
Such a good movie.
Go see Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Hell yeah.
See that. You see Police Academy, the first one.
Oh, goodness.
The first Police Academy
that
there.
One was actually not that good.
No.
It's not.
No, it's just a stupid.
Yeah.
It's a silly kind of slapstick comedy.
The one that I liked best is the one in Miami or Fort Lauderdale. The one in Florida. It's stupid and awful, and it's the only one that I can actually watch.
When I was a kid, it was the Citizens on Patrol one.
That's the one, I think.
That wasn't in Florida.
That's not in Florida?
3 or 4.
Okay.
It was like 1988-ish.
Right. Yeah.
Citizens
That's the one
on
with
Patrol.
David Spade in it.
Yeah, I remember that
skateboard
one.
punk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was one of those. Yeah, and it's all professional skaters like Mike McGill with him and shit. Yeah.
And he's pretending to be that.
Yeah, hanging out with them. Okay. Get Christian Slater in there at least. And, you can go to the South Park Mall and you can see Firestarter with a very tiny Drew Barrymore.
Oh, that is her.
Yeah, it is her. Or go down and see Once Upon a Time in America. Go see a fucking epic there, which is a great movie with Robert De Niro and crazy-ass James Woods. Or you can take the car over to the Adventure of a Jungle Safari.
What? Which
sounds dangerous because it's in Louisiana. Wildlife World. Drive-through Wildlife Park and Zoo.
Yeah.
Which sounds dangerous. The logo is a lion in a safari outfit Heiling Hitler.
What?
As you can see, it is
unreal.
Hitler Heiling lion.
Wow. Is that a tiger, James? That's
tiger,
yeah.
Sorry. He's Heiling Hitler.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
what
kind of
cat it is.
It's something that shouldn't be Heiling. Why is he hand behind the back.
Right. The whole thing.
That's a hard Heil.
Why isn't he goose stuffing? Jesus.
He's gonna when he's done Heiling. That's the thing there. So you can go to Nazi Wildlife World too. Then, if you really need a bite to eat, I got an idea. Head on down to, this sounds very like a Louisiana Mexican food restaurant from the 80s.
Yeah.
Tomasito's Mexican. Guarantee you it's a guy named Tom.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll call it Tomasito's. T-O-M.
I gotta Latin up this white.
Yeah, Tomasito's Mexican restaurant and bar. Fresh food made daily. Nothing frozen except our margaritas. Oh, boy. Now serving Mexican-style baked potatoes.
What?
The fuck is that?
That's how you Latin up white.
Tomasito. How the fuck did you do that? It's like a regular baked potato, but I put some jalapenos on it, and now I call it a Mexican baked potato.
So where I used to put the chili on it, now it's just, some refried.
That's all I done throw that on there.
Refried, some onions.
And a fry and lard.
That is some Spanish shit.
Mexican-style baked potatoes.
Good
I've
Lord.
never heard of that before. And now serving canned beer. And every Friday, they have enchilada dinners for $3.95. So get there. I don't know how you're going to resist it here. That sounds pretty fucking awesome,
Lord.
I would say.
Tomasito's. I'll bet it's still open.
It's Tomasitos. Yeah, no, Tomasito's there. That's Mexican style. Get your Mexican style baked potatoes.
Good Lord.
I have to take a picture of Heiling Hitler, and because I'm going to do that now while we're doing this, because I really feel like that's got to be on the that has to be on our social media. I don't see how people are going to be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" That is the Heiling Tiger. Heil Tiger. So Heil Exotic is what he's doing.
Hope they do that at the LSU games. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers! Woo! So now
GEAU just mixing all kinds of shit together. French Tiger Heiling.
Disaster. French Tiger Heiling. So let's see here. Now 1987, the details on this are murky, but he ends up spending about 3 weeks in jail on a theft charge sometime in 1987. Don't know how, don't know why, don't know the details, but he does a little bit.
It's because he stole his parents' dignity.
Oh, that's right. That's what he did.
Carry his fucking luggage.
Jesus Christ.
They're like, what is, I don't feel, I think our boy stole our dignity.
I think he stopped, I checked my pockets.
Call the police, let's file a report.
You Dutch whore, I told you I checked my pockets. I checked them.
Maybe you put them on your fucking waffles. Do you have some dignity waffles today?
Put it on there instead of blueberries that you found out in the goddamn fields, you lousy bastard. I love how they're Southern and living a fantasy life that I made up.
Furious about it.
Furious about it. So this is 1987, like I said, sometime in 87, he's a month in jail, and this can best be described as by the one sentence he used to describe this period of his life from like 85 to 88. He says, quote, "I did a lot of bullshit related to drug use," which is fair enough. Yeah. That explains it. We have no idea what it is, and then I found that quote and I went, "No, there it is. That's what happened. Bullshit related to drug use." So February 1988. This is kind of where it comes to this first head. This is his first heads up that, hey, theft charge, that's one thing. Yeah. He gets caught in Brussels with heroin on him.
Oh, no.
Which is not great. 1988. Yeah, it's less than a gram of heroin, but it's some heroin.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not allowed to have any of it, so that's how that works. He says, quote, I had a few milligrams of hero on me. They kept me for a few hours, but released me on the condition that I no longer touch drugs. You stop.
Fine.
You stop, you.
You got it.
Okay. You're not going to do it anymore?
Never again.
If you don't, no waffles later.
I understand.
Okay. I swear to God. Well, you can have a waffle. I mean, we're not made of stone here, but no cream on top, though. You're not having any of that stuff. It's too delicious. So, he said, I would point out, contrary to what has been said, I have never sold drugs. Never. I knew too well that a simple catch could lead to forfeiture. So he didn't sell drugs. No, he's a junkie. Most junkies don't have the wherewithal to sell drugs.
I care about your high. I care about mine.
Yeah, that's the thing. And when I'm high, I'm not going to go sell drugs.
Right.
I'm high. I want to relax now. Jesus Christ. It's the whole point.
I want to enjoy not puking right now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't care if you puke.
No. It's, what are we going? You go on your fucking journey and let me go on mine.
Exactly.
Okay? So he says February 88 is when he stopped doing heroin for now. Mm-hmm. He said he did compensate by drinking a shitload, though.
I can understand.
Just rather than just stopping, he would just drink until he was numb and passed out. Right. So, get the same effect, basically.
I wonder what he's so mad about.
I don't know what he's running away from, or if it's just he's got the addictive gene and whatever he's into, he does, or I don't know what it is, but he seems to have some troubles and some chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's what's weird about it is like, the way he treats his parents, it's almost a contempt.
Yeah.
It's a contemptuousness for them, which is like, what did they do to you that was so bad? There was no like I said, I don't know exactly, but he doesn't say like, well, my parents abused me, some priest diddled me behind the fucking.
They facilitated
it took me out yodeling and fucking gave me the old.
the old yodel up here.
Gave me the old fucking walking cane in a bad spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that never happened. So
He didn't check my yodeler manually.
Yeah, this is about the time we check your yodeler, son.
Bend over. I'm going to see where your yodeler.
Bend over. Oh, there you go.
There it is.
Jesus
nice and
Christ. So he would just drink a shitload.
Mm-hmm.
He did try to make a return to the Belgian tennis circuit where, obviously he comes in and people were like, oh, it's that asshole.
Right.
Now you think you're fucked. So now people were kind of he's getting his comeuppance now because now he's not such hot shit anymore, and he wasn't real nice to people on the way up, and now he's on the way down, so people are like, oh, fuck you then, motherfucker. Right. So that's kind of how it went. He said, quote, I had dictated my law so much in tournaments that I believed I could continue to do so. This was not possible and generated exacerbated reactions in me, so I had somewhat violent behavior when deep down I hate violence. Well, yeah, you're quitting heroin, you're angry that you're something that you could do so easily your whole life is now not that easy anymore.
Frustration.
Yeah, obviously. And then there's no heroin to make it feel better. So, and then you're drinking a lot too, which tends to make you a little unstable in the temper department.
And also on your feet.
And on your feet.
A little harder to go 1-2, left, right when you're a little hammered.
That's what I'm saying. But either way, this dude's an asshole. Like, clearly, I would much rather hang out with Corey Dillon.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Even, his bullshit aside, he did punch a woman in the face, which makes me not really want to hang out with him.
You might giggle a bit with him up until he punches a woman.
That's what I mean. If you take that out of it, if me and Corey are sitting next to each other, we're gonna bullshit.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna have some fun. Whereas this guy, I'm gonna be like, you're a dick. You know that?
Monster.
You're a pompous twat.
Yeah.
Anybody ever tell you that? We're not gonna fucking get along probably. So he said that he was just kind of floating around, fucking up in tournaments and not being able to win like he used to. He lived in Cannes for a while there in France, and he couldn't find a job. He was looking for some sort of tennis club job, basically, to be like, one of these pro, like a country club pro or something like that. Exactly, where you could like hit on married women and fucking drink champagne in the restaurant and wear white shorts around and shit.
Stand
what I mean?
Behind them in their short skirts.
Yeah, and this is how you do it. No, here, wait. No, I have to rub my dick on you while you follow through. That's how you do it.
While you swing your backhand, I have to run my fingers up your thighs.
That's how that works. See, when you're going, now follow through, now feel that? That's my penis. That's right. Yeah, you feel that, right?
30 love. The look in your eyes. You're so excited. Do you feel that? That is my penis.
That's my penis. Feel that muscle right here? That means that's doing. No, that's my penis.
Do you feel that rested between your butt cheeks? Not your shoulder. Don't worry about your shoulder.
Oh, I love it.
You move a little further, and we're going to have insertion.
No, it's going to happen. One step back. All right. Yeah. Now
that one's on you.
Oh, that's on you, sweetheart. I told you about it.
I warned you.
Hey, listen, your mother's a Dutch prostitute, not mine. I don't know what to tell you. So, he doesn't find a job there in 89. He returns to Belgium, and he's bummed. Super fucking bummed. And then it comes out that he's basically he's charged with a crime, something to do with drugs here, and he's basically supposed to come to court, and he just doesn't.
Really?
He just doesn't go to court. He just goes away.
Maybe they'll forget.
Yeah, he said quote, I was afraid to introduce myself. Like, he didn't want to go to court. He was embarrassed to go to court, basically. So what he became was a fugitive at that point, which is what happens when you don't show up for court after you're arrested. You have
to jump off the Hoover Dam.
And then you got a problem. Yeah, the Hoover Dam. So they look for him. There's a manhunt for him to all around, and they catch him pretty quick. I mean, he's not like... He's recognizable, and he's shit-faced, and, you know. He's out there slurring his words, wearing wooden clogs, playing tennis, and it's not hard to find the guy, is what I'm getting at. So what he ends up is he finally goes to court. He's caught. He's sent to St. Gilles jail, and he finally goes to court, and the judge says, you, sir, may fuck off, and he gets a suspended sentence and ordered to undergo drug rehabilitation. So that's his sentence here.
Get yourself cleaned up.
Clean up, you fucking moron, is what they
mess.
say. You're a goddamn mess. So after he is at a rehab, one of his friends, he moves in with one of his friends, which in this French paper they call his boyfriend, which I found, I had to go, what happened?
What's
I was like, whoa, what now? And I went back, and I'm like, that's just how they say friend, who's a guy. So his boyfriend there, Jacques.
Yep. It sounds like
very French. Jacques Grandjean.
Yeah. I can see where your confusion
That's what I mean. I say Jacques Grandjean, hosted by Jacques Grandjean, his boyfriend. I'm like, wait a second here. Jacques Grandjean sounds handsome. Don't get me wrong. He sounds like a very attractive man.
Sounds great.
I'll give him a look. Yeah. I might throw one at him. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? What I mean is, though, sounds like a handsome guy. Yeah. So,
and the newspaper is really playing up their relationship.
And, well, here's the next sentence, too. Okay. It's after rehab. This is, I'm going to read right from the translation of the French newspaper. After his rehab, Boileau is hosted by Jacques Grandjean, his boyfriend. Together, they participated last week in the Double Gentlemen of Belgium tournament.
Yep.
Come on. How am I not supposed to think that's gay?
Nothing to do with tennis.
Like, right? I don't see the word. Tennis is double gentleman tournament, championships. I feel like so who can fuck each other the best, right? That's what it feels like.
They went on some drag parade.
Next sentence, by the way, in this, a huge crowd gathered around court number 1. A huge crowd gathered around court.
Everybody was shocked that they were doing this at a tennis match.
Want to hear it get worse?
Yeah.
Okay.
They pulled out.
Almost as bad. Yeah. A huge crowd gathered around court number 1. Success is total despite defeat. That's fucking. That's
one man was defeated.
That's getting fucked in the ass there. So success is total despite defeat. Then he says, all of these people made me very happy. That's what he said about it when asked about it. So let's go over that.
That's the gayest story ever.
That's the gayest thing that's ever been done, ever. Like, ever. That's never been, a story like that could not have been told any gayer. He left
rehab, met a man named Jacques
Grandjean, who's his boyfriend. They participated not only in public, in a tournament, a double gentleman tournament, where they drew a large crowd around court number 1. And even if you're defeated, it's success because you're really taking it in the ass. As long as he got in past the middle, you know what I mean? It's all right.
Sometimes domination isn't bad.
He got the head in, right? What are we talking about then? It's fine, right? What? That's success. So, and that made him very happy, or he made all these people very happy, or whatever the fuck it was. So, Jesus Christ. But he's all fucked up after he leaves prison. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He's kind of not ostracized, but nobody really gives a shit about him in tennis anymore. He's has no education. He's playing tennis doing this since he was 14, 15. Doesn't know what to do. So basically, he just drinks. He's like, does a shrug and goes, guess I'll fucking drink a whole shitload.
Yeah.
And that's what he continues to do. Drink. But he meets a woman as well. He meets a woman named Dominique, who he ends up having a young daughter with named Maud. Well, I guess young when she's born, as most children are.
Hope she's not old.
She was born 23 years old. It was wild. She had a degree in accounting, and she was ready to hit the job market. Very easy kid, I got to tell you. Not bad. I don't know how she got a driver's license in there, but she pulled it off. She's very driven this time.
Female Benjamin
Maud.
Button.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, he said that, that's what he was doing here, doing all of that. Now, he has some problems, though. Yeah. By the way, in tennis, we'll just give his final record now, even though he might have a match or two after this. His career singles record is 33-43 in, major whatever, major matches. And his career doubles record is 13-18 in major whatever. So that's still pretty good.
It's good.
It's better than I would do, I would say. So, January 1990 is when it really fucking the wheels come off the cart here for him. This is okay. Well, he has his ex-wife there, ex-girlfriend, but he calls them his ex-parents-in-law. Apparently, because he has 2 children with his old girlfriend. Okay, he's got 2 children with her, so he still has to be
to that family.
You're connected. You pick kids up, you drop kids off, and shit like this. Well, apparently, he was going over his ex's parents' house there, his in-laws. And apparently, while he's there, he sees an old friend in the street.
Yeah.
Okay. Who owes him 2,000 Belgian francs. Okay. So he sees this guy in the street. Hey, it's this guy. So he fucking said, "Oh, do you have my money?"
Yeah.
And apparently 2,000 Belgian francs is not a lot of money.
Okay.
It's not a ton. Okay. So it's just, $20 or $50 or something. It's not like, oh, you have that 10 grand you owe me or something like, oh yeah, no, obviously I don't have it on me.
You have that $2,000 right there in your pocket.
It's something that he could have had on him to just quickly give over here. But the guy said no, he doesn't have it, and he's not giving him shit. So what he does is the guy, apparently, who he sees in the street is with a woman that he's trying to get the money from. So what Bernard does is he grabs the purse of the woman that the guy is with. Says, well, fuck, well, there you go.
Take it out of
I'll
here.
take it out of this then, motherfucker. If you want this purse back, give me my goddamn money. So, apparently, this causes some sort of physical confrontation followed by a chase. There is a chase, basically, where...
To get the purse back.
Somehow they fight, and this guy ends up running away, the guy who owes him the money, so Bernard ends up chasing him.
Oh, my God.
So Bernard, by the way, he's got heroin on him.
Oh, no.
He's not doing well right now. He's having a bad time. So he ends up... basically, with heroin on him, after he stole a purse away from this lady, he ends up crashing into somebody's driveway, where their car there, where this guy went into a house. He crashes into the driveway, into the house, fucking almost hurts somebody.
In his car.
Oh, he does this after chasing him through the streets like a fucking maniac. He fucking crashes into a thing. Has heroin on him. He's on heroin. He's got a fucking stolen purse with him.
He's only 31.
Yeah, it's not good. He's 31, and it has just, the wheels have come the fuck off of shit, man. And he's not even 31, for Christ's sake.
This is 1990?
Yeah, he's January 90. He's not even 30. Yeah, he's 30 and a half at this point. So this is what ends up happening. So he gets arrested for this, obviously, and it's drugs, bodily harm, it's theft, all sorts of different motor vehicle. He's got a slew of charges.
Kids.
Yeah, he's got a slew of charges. This is not great for him, especially that. He says, quote, "I then realized that I could not go any lower and that my imprisonment was the culmination of 4 or 5 years of a psychological imbalance in which drugs played an important role."
It's very sober.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
You nailed it.
He thought of that in a sober time, I have a feeling. That didn't come, you know what happened? No. So he goes to court here, January 25th, 1990. It's Charleroi, Belgium.
Yeah.
He ends up not going to court. He doesn't attend the trial. I guess there you have an option whether you want to attend or not. It's not like here where attendance is pretty mandatory.
Yeah.
They want you to be there.
It's a good idea.
It's a good idea. You should be there too. And they pretty much, if you don't show up, they're pissed pissed about it.
Yeah.
They'll subpoena you and
There's
everything.
some pretty good information that you should probably be absorbing there anyway.
That's the other thing. You should know stuff.
Yeah.
But over there, they're just like, you got this, right? To your lawyer. All right, I'll be home. I'll be watching TV. The game's on.
Give me a call. Let me know how this works out.
Absolutely. So it's taking heroin, assault, causing a car accident, and then, by the way, he fled the scene as well.
Oh, no.
So they had to track him down a couple miles away with his fucking wheel hanging off and shit. Like, it wasn't good. A fender was dragging on the ground. Not a good look for him.
No.
So the judge, he is convicted of all of these things, and the judge says, this is a good one here, you, sir, may fuck off 3 years in prison.
Okay.
3 years in prison. That's 2 years. It's basically 2 years and 8 months. 1 year for the drugs, and then the other 2 years are going to be suspended. And then two of the years are suspended out of the 3, and the 2 of the years are for the 2 assaults and the 2 months, and then there's 2 months added for driving offenses. So that's how they end up doing it. He's going to do about 32 months in prison, basically, is what they're saying.
Okay.
But over there, apparently, you can just appeal, you can refuse, and then they appeal and you get a retrial.
What?
Like, you can be like, nope, that one didn't go how I planned. I'd like another trial. And they go, sure.
Run it again.
And then literally 2 weeks later, they're having another trial for him. Like, what? You just had a trial.
Right now?
That's wild, man. So not even like an appeal to see if you should get another trial.
Right.
All right, sure. Here, though, in the retrial, he is still sent to jail. Still, you may fuck off, but the sentence is reduced.
Wow.
Because he had a thing where he couldn't get out for a year because of the violence, they said, and the drugs. So together, those are bad, I guess.
I would say so. You can't handle your drugs.
Yeah, apparently if you're like violent dirt while you have drugs over there, that makes it extra bad. So you get like so that's the way that works. So his retrial, he's still sent to prison, but not for nearly as long at that point. So yeah, he's fucking.
How long does he get?
Well, he's supposed to do a year, but he's going to end up doing, a couple of months. Okay. That's it. And he's going to end up getting out. And, he's very confused. He doesn't know what to do with himself because his life is pretty much fucked.
Yeah.
His life is fucked now.
He has no idea where he came from.
He has no idea where he came from, no idea where he's going. If you listen to my story, you'd have even less idea of where the fuck he came from. So, yeah, he's a goddamn mess. He's out there wandering the streets because, at this point, he doesn't even have a car. He destroyed that.
Yeah.
He's making no money.
No.
I'm sure he's got an itch for something there. All he can do is sit in his apartment and try not to do drugs. Yeah. That's what he's trying to do at this point, trying to recover. And people help him from time to time. He has friends that come over because he still has a couple people that are willing to help him. A couple of ex-tennis guys. I think guys might have known where he was coming from. I was a dick when I was 18 too, type of thing. You know what I mean? Where they understand he's a person now.
Right.
One person comes over in particular, knocks on the door, and it's the Mexican pimp. He's shocked because it's in Belgium.
Yeah.
And he says, "How is it you've come to arrive here?
Yeah.
Why are you here? I understand why you're in Belgium because you are from here, obviously. Right. But why are you here right now? You play tennis beautiful, like a swan.
This point of your life.
Your mother was a beautiful, top-tier prostitute in Amsterdam. Wonderful woman. I wish I could have 10 like her. Forget it. I would retire next year. So much money I could make. But you go to heroin instead. I don't understand.
It's unbelievable.
When you could just sell your mother. I don't understand why you would do this. Why you would not. She's clearly open to the idea. Think about it. That's all I am saying. I don't know. I don't know how it goes in Belgium. But poof, and in a poof of I don't know, leopard and tequila and guns blazing. He's gone.
Yeah.
And Bernard is excessively confused.
Yeah.
He's like, "What was that Spanish? I don't know what that was."
My mom wasn't even a prostitute.
Fuck. That's not true.
You rumor spreading some bitch.
You cocksucker. So when he gets out of jail, this is when the writer, Patrick Hamont, where I told you that's the guy, this Patrick Hamont picks him up from jail.
That's how they meet.
Well, no, he's known him for years,
Okay.
but he picks him up from jail because no one else picks him up from jail, basically. So, this is, he's in for a couple of months, and basically they I mean, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't have to stay there too long, but he gets out and he might as well be in prison. It doesn't matter. He says that he gets there, the writer, Patrick, he says he gets there a few minutes late and he's not at the jail anymore. And they're like, oh, no, he left already. So Patrick finds Bernard in the cafe next to the prison. What prisons have cafes next to them, first of all?
Seems like low clientele.
What a weird, because I picture cafe in Europe, there's like a sidewalk and I'm sipping things next to a prison.
Baguettes and bags.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
maybe their prisons don't look like ours, too.
Maybe not.
They might not be like gray, hulking things with barbed fucking razor wire around it, probably.
Maybe very decorative and beautiful.
They might be nice. Yeah, they might be really...
Banksy photos painted on the outside.
Just hot shit. So, he's there. He said he's in the cafe next to the prison. He said they sit down, they talk for a minute, they drink a beer. He's still doing that, I guess. And they go to the writer's house. He says there they have a bite to eat together, and then he drives him home, and that's how he gets him out of prison. But he talks to him a whole bunch, and we'll get into that here. He says he spent time in Brussels. He was obviously in the jail there. And then once he got out again, though, he said he wants to start playing tennis again now.
Oh, boy.
Which seems kind of pointless.
It seems too late.
Yeah, it's too late. 31, you're over the hill in tennis as it is, but if you haven't been playing for a few years and been on heroin, you're really over the hill. You haven't kept your body in the same amount of shape. He says, quote, I'm not afraid about the reaction of the crowd. Potier, that's some guy, kicked off when he met his wife. I got rid of drugs when I met my girlfriend. You have people who helped me, and those who did not, and those who will never have confidence in me. It's as simple as that. So basically, some people like me, some don't. What are you gonna do? Fuck them. Kind of what he said. He said, if I had it to be done again, I would not do anything I did during my sports career.
Okay.
Well,
so
yeah.
He'd change it all.
Yeah, you would change everything, basically, except that childhood story. That you never changed.
That thing was really great.
It was good. He says that he said himself that he lacks character, and he lacked character, and therefore he's going to have a hard time kicking everything and staying clean because he says he lacks character.
Right.
So he's starting to realize that. He was on methadone there. He says that he gets help with that. That's how he kicks heroin and stays off heroin, and it keeps him, he said it's managed for a couple of years to keep him off heroin, doing methadone. He said that he spent a little less than 4 months behind bars there. He's got a kid. Yep. He's got no money, not a lot of things to do. He said he's trying to figure out a new business. He doesn't know what to do. He says, quote, after being what I had been, having dominated Belgian tennis for so many years, it was really not easy to return to the clubs when everyone knew what I had gone through. When I was only a known sportsman, I was already looked at as if I were a curious beast. So you think a top athlete who goes through drugs in prison, it tends to stir curiosity. But it went better than I feared, except that being a former drug addict, nothing happened to me. If I drank too much, there were rumors that I was addicted again. So, yeah, but he said, people talked, but nobody was like yelling shit at him and calling him a fucking piece of shit while he was playing at the club.
That's too bad.
You fucking lousy twat. Your mother's a whore. You know how that goes. So a few months later here, a few months goes by, and this Patrick Hamont guy was a tennis consultant for, I don't know what this is, RTBF. I don't know what that is, but he's a tennis consultant for that. That's the writer guy. A few months after he gets out of jail, though, Bernard calls the sports chief of this place and offers him his services instead. So he found out where this guy was after he got out of jail and talked to him, and then he's like, I'll try to take his job.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. So he does that. It's wild, man. He said basically, quote, what are you doing with Hamont? He doesn't know anything about tennis, whereas I really don't get any better. That's what he said. Like, that guy's an idiot. You can get me. I'm much better than him.
Wow.
So he does. The guy
stole his job.
Stole dude's job. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So this guy said he took my place, but not for too long because this is the way the guy puts it, quote, because Bernard is as exceptional as it is unstable, as blazing as he is inconsistent. And also he says he's selfish, an intelligent egoist, he calls himself, or this is what Patrick calls him, an egoist who can be cruel and an egoist of extreme fragility.
He's very proud of himself.
He's very proud of himself and very fragile. Very fragile. He's got that right. So what he ends up doing here is after he leaves that job, he ends up giving lessons. lessons, as a lot of these guys end up doing. Tennis lessons to kids, old people, some 60-year-old lady who's just fucking newly retired, wants to learn how to play tennis. That's what he's doing there. People who are, rich fucktards at a country club,
gated community,
shit like that. Yeah, he said he feels frustrated and he was pissed off and
God damn it,
hated
Margaret!
it. Fuck,
you're dropping your shoulder.
God, fucking damn it! I could fucking run her over with my car. I swear to God, I could take her purse and run her over with my car. I'm not even kidding. Who's got heroin? So then, though, he said, quote, I saw a report devoted to the Fête L'amour, a campaign conducted in France by Yannick Noah, that one player, to allow children from disadvantaged cities to learn tennis for free, which is awesome. They should do that more. He said, I knew Yannick. We had met 6 times in a tournament, and I only beat him in our first game. I was 14 and he was 13. I contacted him, and we decided to together to launch a similar action in Belgium, which is nice.
Brilliant.
The first Belgian operation of Fête L'amour will take place, blah, 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 and some shit I can't pronounce. Drixo, Brisse, Bas, Saint-Léonard. I don't know what the fuck that is. 3 disadvantaged districts of his home city, and 200 young people are expected to participate for free.
That's great.
That's fucking terrific. The guy, the Haumont guy, Patrick, he still meets with him even after the job debacle because he's also a writer, and this is an interesting...
Fuck yeah,
he's a fucking disaster, so why not? So he says this is what he writes. He writes that in a book, what this is from, he says, as his coffee cools, he calmly rolls a cigarette, talking about Bernard. And Bernard says about why he rolls his own, quote, because it costs me less. However, when I have finished paying my rent and alimony of Maud and Jean, my 2 children, I only have 300 euros left. In other words, I have to be careful. So
I'm broke as fuck. That's why I do this.
He's broke as fuck. Yeah.
The next step is pulling him out of ashtrays. So just be glad I'm not doing that in front of you.
Big time.
Yeah.
He says when he was at the height of his glory, though, he was earning all this money. He would get basically a Belgian tournament. He could put 70,000 francs in his pocket from one tournament, and he would do that all the time. And he'd get bonuses and shit like that. So Patrick asked him, are you still doing heroin? And he said, quote, no, I haven't dived since 1988, but it's true that I have sometimes drunk a lot more than I should have. Which, yeah, I guess so.
I've switched.
And there's been a lot of rumors about him there, about the fact that he's, been drinking a lot and all this type of shit. He says he sometimes was giving lessons, playing at the club, but he says he's never consistent with anything. He just wasn't, his life's got very inconsistent.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. And then he says, quote, at the beginning of 1994, when I no longer see my daughter born in July 1990, I start reading again, which I haven't done in years. After relearning with light books like Agatha Christie, I then turned to Oriental philosophies. Wow. I even went to see the Dalai Lama during his visit to the Buddhist center of Tehang in 1995. As I was beginning to find a meaning in my life, I founded 3 years later the Association blah 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 to help children in difficulty. So he's talking about that. But it's still, he starts that with the Yannick Noah guy, and that actually is something. Basically, he said that he thought it was cool that he saw like a TV thing about it, and he was like, oh, neat, cool, I want to get into that, and he does. So in 2000, by the year 2000, Patrick runs into him again. At this point, he's riding a bike because he can't afford a car.
Wow.
He's riding his bike around.
Fuck.
And the guy makes a point to say, like, this is a guy who had like the fanciest sports cars and all this crazy
and it was
shit. Free. Yeah. And now he's riding a bike around. But this is what he says. This is what Bernard says, quote, but I don't regret anything. For 10 years, I have known heaven on earth. There was not a single cloud in the sky of my life. After that, it was different. Healthy pleasures that were mine. I have tasted others to all the others. I don't know what the fuck that means. And then he says, quote, I too thought that these 2 activities, the nonprofit thing, would give me oxygen. Alas, in 2001, the subsidies ceased to be paid to the nonprofit organization because the government was funding it.
Right.
I was in charge of, and the RTBF ended my collaboration. By the way, this guy says this was due to certain comments that he said on the air. That's why. They didn't do it for no reason to end his collaboration. He said something he shouldn't have said, and they fired him. What is no more? I had no house, no car. I no longer saw my daughter, my son, and of course, I no longer had a penny. So that's where he's at in 2000.
He's broke.
Fucked. He's 41 and fucked out of his mind, basically. He has no money. His kid's not allowed to see his kid.
Right.
He's got no fucking job.
It's
blew
over.
his whole career. Heroin. He's a fucking disaster. So 2002, he gets in trouble again.
Yeah.
Yes. Apparently, he's got something in Belgium. Apparently, when you owe money, they'll come take some shit from you. If you owe for like fines, they'll just like come like
it's a
take.
nice clock, fucker.
Yeah, because you like owe fines basically. Yeah. So apparently, he was given some sort of citation by the police. And he said they offered me a financial transaction, which I immediately accepted. This saved me from having to end up before the criminal court again. They said you can just pay a fine and be done with it. One of those. The sum was only 30 euros. That's the fine.
Yeah.
Remember that now. This is all over 30 euros, okay?
Boy.
30 euros, and everything was settled, and he was supposed to pay the fine by a certain date. Done and done and done. Okay. See you later. Instead, he forgets to pay the fine.
Oh, no.
Forgets, refuses, whatever the fuck.
It is, yeah.
But what he ends up doing is he and his friend, I think a woman, on January 25th, 2000, I think it is. Oh, no, that's later on. Yep. It's in late 99. Him and his companion return to their home in Nandrin. And there are people waiting for him there. Yeah. There is a bailiff, an officer, and accompanied by his witness, which is somebody sent by the state to oversee the transaction, I guess, to make sure the cop doesn't steal anything or whatever the fuck. I don't know. That's who's at the door. They're there to take something from Bernard. They're there to seize some shit. Yeah. Apparently, this is not the first time
that they've been there,
that people have seized shit from him. So he starts getting pissed off. So apparently, he says, fuck that, and starts yelling and insulting the bailiff, who's a police officer there. The bailiff said, quote, I was really shocked by these words. Because it was like, where the fuck is this coming from? And, Bernard then went after the guy standing with the bailiff and started yelling at him and all this sort of shit. Now, according to the police officer and the witness there with him, Bernard then punched this man twice in the back of the head.
Oh, no.
He started fucking taking swings at the witness guy.
Can't do that.
This guy who is not used to being punched, and people don't punch each other as much in Belgium, I feel like. This isn't like he's in fucking Southie or some shit in Boston, and he's used to, hey, go to a bar, you get punched in the mouth once in a while. This is a different case.
And it's a job that this guy does 30 times a day. Nobody takes a swing at me.
He's got a suit on. This is ridiculous.
They oftentimes give me a kid's bicycle or something.
Yeah, Bernard he gives him a couple of punches to the fucking rabbit punches to the back of the head. This guy fell to the ground face forward in the gravel because of it. He fucking jacked him twice good in the head, and the guy fell right on his face and was injured that way. So that's what everyone else said. Bernard has a different take on it.
Yeah.
He said, and this is good here, quote, I grabbed him by the arm to accompany him to the door. That's awesome. He said he didn't fall because of me. He just tripped.
Okay.
So he accompanied him, grabbed him by the arm. He's not an old elderly man that needs to be accompanied by the arm. So he was dragging him to the door and then decided to punch him out of it, is what it sounds like to me.
He's giving the same excuse
allegedly
that Corey Dillon would give for punching his wife.
Yeah, I
was helping her to the door.
I was helping her fucking drive. I said left, pow. See over there to the left. She wasn't looking. He said that his behavior was exaggerated in relation to the situation, that he will admit, but he didn't punch anybody. Right. He said, quote, I did not manage to calm down. It was not the first visit, and I was getting tired of it. He was pissed off. Prosecution asked for a sentence of 6 months in jail for this. And, he's been sentenced before, obviously, so that's on his record, which doesn't help him any. The court finally says, you, sir, may fuck off again. 4 months in jail is what he gets for this. 4 months. He said he does appeal, though. Yeah. He says, quote, during my appeal, I will request that my prison sentence be changed to community service. I want my nonsense to serve the community. That's a great line.
It's solid.
I want my nonsense to serve the community. I love that. Whatever the number of hours, I will do them without saying anything. I still regret what happened, but it's impossible to go back. So he's like, please don't put me in fucking jail. That's all I want.
It's going to be 4 months of community service.
So he's punching the shit out of people. He says, quote, I hope the court will heed my appeal from this conviction. Going from a sum of 30 euros to a sentence of 4 months, there is a famous difference. But you also forgot about the punches in the back of the fucking head there. So he gets out of jail. He says he regrets his behavior. He said, quote, I was in a bad period in my life. I was in charge of the Feet L'Amour Association, launched in 1996. Unfortunately, the financial health of the foundation was struggling. It was not the usher's first visit, and I was just getting tired of it. He also said that he gets angry too often. He said, quote, I reacted badly when I saw them in front of my partner's furnished home. I don't know why it's important. It's got furniture in it.
He wants everybody to know. It's not lawn chairs.
She's got a couch in there, I swear to God.
There's a TV and shit.
Totally. I don't know why they were there since they couldn't grasp anything. In any case, I want to apologize again for my behavior. I hope that such situations will not happen again. Yeah. I mean, I hope not too, because some guy who's just sent to watch a cop do his job gets the shit beaten out of him. I feel bad for that fucking guy. Not to mention his kids too. Yeah. Because I mean, your dad's super famous, but he's also the biggest fuck up in the history of Belgium.
They named you Maud? That's
too bad. Your name is Maud. Terrific. I mean, there's a lot to feel bad for there, but not nearly. Feel bad for him, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Bernard Boileau. I don't know how the fuck to pronounce this. Nantes in Lorraine, France.
What does that do?
I have no idea.
Nantes.
Nantes. I don't know.
Okay, it's a baker,
I guess. Bernard Boileau, principal owner at The Pool Experts in the Kitchener, Canada area.
They got pools in Canada?
Apparently. So all right, kids, in the pool. Oh, fuck, it's cold. Out of the pool, kids.
Don't dive in it. It's solid fucking ice.
Go do a lap and get out of there before it freezes. Let's go. Fucking fast. Here's one. Bernard Boileau, just France.
Oh,
that's it.
He is France.
He's in France, and that's all. I don't know what he does. And then Bernard Boileau, senior director at Lob Law, a law firm in Montreal, Canada. So, yeah.
He could use him.
That's what I'm saying. So, when the situation became desperate, he says he began to see signs. Signs. He said after appreciating Eastern philosophy, he's going to return, thanks to these signs, to Catholicism and Christianity. He says, quote, I got to know Jesus again. You rule-breaking motherfucker. You're living at home. You're fucking finding God. You're fucking up, man. You're fucking up.
The Dalai Lama failed him.
Yeah. For a non-American athlete, he's really following the pattern of every American athlete. He's really doing fantastic. I got to know Jesus again. In fact, I couldn't find him for years. In fact, after visiting Eastern cultures and philosophies, I started reading books on the life of Jesus. First of all, for literary and historical interest. Then I learned to love man. It's a big step. History's okay. You know what? I love man. Love mankind. As I read, I saw more of the signs that presented themselves to me.
Yeah.
So he's been presented like a mandrill.
Yeah. Brand new baby.
He's in 2003 he participated in the Vocations March, which was something for kids, for whatever, I don't know what the fuck it is. He said, quote, I met incredible people there, including an engineer who made a very good living and who wanted to become a priest. I also talked with a lot of young women, very pretty, who had chosen the Lord as their companion.
Jesus.
Some religious bullshit.
Why are we saying very pretty? What does that matter?
That means that they could have gotten dick.
Done anything.
They're prettier than Dutch prostitute. I'll tell you what. But they chose the Lord as their companion. They could have been fucked by people from everywhere with $30 in their pocket. But instead,
it's a very Donald Trump-esque tweet right there.
It's just a weird one where you're like, what the hell is he talking about?
I met a lot of people today. Very attractive.
A lot of very attractive people that are doing very good things. Yeah. So he said in the evening there, he said he went for a walk and he decided to find out about possibilities available. He said, quote, I wanted to put myself at the service of the church. Mm-hmm. That's all there. I then learned that there were training courses in the bishopric, which made it possible to become a pastoral agent or parish assistant. I started lessons in 2004. I passed the first 3 years and missed the second. But I'm going on because I really think it's my way. He says, I am well aware that when I was that I was then closer to Sodom and Gomorrah back in the day here.
Yeah.
I lived on honor, glory, and money. Times have changed. My faith is rational and reasoned. I feel it from the inside, and it translates differently. I am neither Mother Teresa nor Sister Emmanuel nor Saint Francis d'Assisi. You know that one. I now hope to have enough discipline and rigor for the rest of my life to be dedicated to this vocation. I know many people have a hard time believing me, but I am not asking for people to believe in me. I am not accountable to anyone, just as I have no right to hold a grudge against anyone. I always knew that God had a plan for me, even when I was playing tennis. Today, I think I have understood what this project was, and I'm ready to follow it.
I'm so nervous.
He's going to do it.
Yeah.
2006, the writer, that Patrick guy, has not seen Bernard since 2006.
Really?
He's been out there. There was rumors that he was dying in like 2011, but he's still alive. 61.
And everything's fine?
We don't know.
Jesus.
He's 61 years old. He's so out there somewhere.
Yeah, but he's been working with children for 20 years.
Oh, no, he's in religion.
Sprinkled religion into it. I'm so uncomfortable.
That's what I mean. They said there's been rumors that he was back into drugs. There's rumors that he was drinking too much, and there's rumors that he was very sick.
Okay.
So we don't know what's going on. Can't get enough of Bernard.
Yeah.
Try heroin. There you go.
Yeah, you might find him there.
Find him there. Also, you can kind of see things through his eyes a little more if you try heroin. But that, my friends,
wowza,
is Bernard Boileau, our first Belgian.
Yeah.
And
what a story.
What a story.
Made so much better.
What a Oh, so much fun. That was so much fun keeping a straight face for that. Just enough believable details there to do that. So, that is Bernard. If you enjoyed that, I don't know how the fuck you wouldn't, honestly. That was pretty goddamn enjoyable.
What's wrong with you?
If you enjoyed that, let us know about it. Get on Apple Podcast, that purple icon. Give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. Also, you can do it on Stitcher, but it helps a lot. Say something on there. It takes 30 seconds to sign in. You know how long it took me to fucking translate Dutch and French and German shit to figure this goddamn shit out?
And write a whole new story.
And write a goddamn... Yeah, and I made up a guy's life, too, on top of it. So give us 5 fucking stars. Make up your own story. We don't give a shit. To that, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com, of course, for all of your crime and sports and small town murder needs. Tons of stuff there. Everything, shirts and merchandise. And
shirts and shit.
Shirts and shit there. Listen to Small Town Murder every Thursday. This week is a good week to start. The last episode last Thursday.
So much fun.
Such a crazy episode. That, honestly, if you are thinking about where do I start, give that one a shot and then go back and listen to the rest. You're going to like it. That's every
golden butthole a swirl.
Do it. You don't know how bagels are made. Find out. Find out how bagels are made. Do that. That's every Thursday. Every Friday, listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie as well, where we make fun of bad romantic comedies and have a good fucking time doing it. Check all of that out. If you want to be a hero of ours, though, and one of our people who gets access to all sorts of awesome things like great bonus episodes.
More hero than heroin.
That's right. More hero than heroin. You want to be our heroine, you can do that easy. And by the way, the bonus episode this week, Patreon, $5 and above, is you'll have access to is classified ads that we're going to read from Texas and Florida in the 80s, LA Weekly magazine from the 90s. There's some weird shit in there, and we're going to have a ball doing it. We're going to make fun of people as they search for love.
Yes.
So find that and check that out. That is patreon.com/crimeinsports. Or you can go over to PayPal, make a one-time donation if you just want to be a nice person and don't care about any of that stuff. And you can do that with our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. It's good karma. What are you going to do there? And we are thankful as shit to everybody who donates a dime to us and everything like that. Everyone who gives us things and follows us on social media.
Sends shit in mail.
At Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. But Jimmy, I'll tell you what, we've been taken to Belgium and back. You know where you need to take me? You need to take me to the list of my favorite fucking people. Hit me with it like a homemade tennis racket in the face, Jimmy.
This week's executive producers are Crystal Skules, Jane Blackbird, Brock with no last name, Dylan Height, Stephen Carlson, Annette P., Timothy Young, and Anna Chambers, Carmen Hernandez Royce, Jules Harris, Asteri Wolf, It's one word. I don't know. Neil Jones, David Mall, Melissa Turner, Callie Shinkunis donated in honor of her mother who passed away this week, who instilled love of true crime and crude humor from a young age. Thank you,
awesome.
Callie. I'm really sorry.
Well, shit.
Hang in there. It's going to get better. I
yeah,
promise.
sorry to hear that.
Chris Stanton, LOFC. I'm not sure what that stands for. Christina De Mello, Milo.
Something football club, LO.
Maybe.
They're into soccer.
I don't know. Tom Fairley. Kip Sousley updated hers. Thank you so much, Kip.
Thank you.
Under the Sea Fabrics, Serena D. Michael Humecki, Jeremy Ebert, Joanne Ahern, Drew Shockley, Isaac Smith, Jordan Bennett, Cedar House Yarns, Renee Malaco, I think, Brenda Wilson, Sarah Rodriguez, Harrison Dunham, Stacy Dingley, Monica Lemmings, Fran Hitsky in Australia. Thank you, Fran.
Thank you.
Jacob Dockery. Also, Jacob, take a look at your donation. Make sure that's right, please.
Please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Caitlin Jablinski, Trisha Washington, and Jordan Covington. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. We truly can't do it without you. It's
no,
amazing.
not at all.
Other producers this week are Sandra Watkins, Daniel Pittard, Anna Kowalewski, damn it, Noah Farbs, Nia, Elijah Gillespie, Brian with no last name, Lindsey Berman, Jake Oldham, Josh Tunks, Bo Allison, Southern Fried Notions, Brandon Saunders, Debbie Murray, Rebecca Bibowd, Vaughn Briner, Samantha Bird, Brandon Keibler, Cody Hewart, Jess Lara, Jackie Visnover, Wesley Bryant, Flavia with no last name, James Burns, Adam Spinks.
You went the distance on that one.
Samantha Bird, happy birthday. Leslie Chaplin, Adrian Gill, Ahmad Muhammad, Brian Skinner, Joe Traina, Sonia Hupfeld Cosino, no. Sarah with no last name, Jessica Volley or Voey. That's no, probably not. Aaron Utley, Rebecca Prowns, Robin Sherrill, Lisa Abel, Joel with no last name, Alex Hartman, Solomon World, Samantha Tooley, Eric Ginsel, A. Hannah, A. Mikash, William Littlefield, Jessica Dowd, Carol Chan, Luis Flores, Brittany and John Fellman, Sean War, Kimberly McCarthy, Shelley Ewanchuk, Joey Scarlett, Mike Richmond, David Whitman, Larissa Pavlov, Robert Lockwood, Michelle Chapman, Erica Foltz, Rose Perry, Jeff DeLuca, damn it, Scott Schaefer, Ryan Smalley, Autumn Meyer, Tristan Gray, Paige Spencer, Kaya Day Steele, Dylan Leahy, Alexandria Marie Rexach Werner, Jessica with no last name, Keith Cerny, Ben McDonough, Maggie with no last name, Katya with no last name, Zane Bohe, Zach Schaub's girlfriend Shy is having a tough one, so hang in there, Shy. It's going to get better. I
thanks
promise.
for hanging with us.
Thank you very much. Shannon Dalio, Harmony Marie Bettenhausen, Tavon Tovin Parker, Stephen Ahern, MB with that's just initials, Erica Taro, Azaneeth, no, Richard Desmond, Amy Del Plato, Sarah Mahan, Jamie Maggiera, Courtney Brand, Danelle Desert Loges, okay, Joe Bellegam, no, Carmen McClellan, Lisa MMX, Susanna Piero, Alex Steep, Nadine Requejo, no, Chris Van, Weston Blake, Karen Lelm, Caleb Pratt, Hay P. Roy, Richard with no last name, Aaron Smuck, Connor Wotris, Evo Jusanis, I don't know what that is, Tavia with no last name, Phil Roos, I think it's double O's, double S's. That's impossible. Megan Tuarski, Leon with no last name, Debbie Peterson, RP, Sarah Lucchese, Andrea Burbank, Liz Brunner, Judy Brady, Kimberly Murphy, Maddie P, Emma Stanley, Yaku, Courtney Locker, Christopher Sunderhouse, Emily Bellinfonte,
Damn it.
All right,
Chelsea Peoples. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. This is all I got. Travis Paul Johnson, Andrea Grell, Rosie Urkovich, Yesha Alexis, Tom Horning, Gareth Jones, Marla Perez, Joni Janovsky, Rebecca Clubb, Small Town Cunt. That's pretty easy.
Hey, all right, that's easy.
Breck Bennett, Craig Holt, Melissa Myden, Clay with no last name, Taylor Kibling, Jess with no last name, Anthony Carlson, Patrick Jacobson, Zach with no last name, Ben Snit or Sate or Shit. I don't know what I did. I'm sorry, Ben. Alyssa Callan. Alyssa Callan. Kelly Mealer, Tabitha Lilly, Kendra with no last name, Andrew with no last name, Craig Dunford, Jonah Siegel, Tyler Bear or Barry, Caslin Johnson, Addison Tucker, Megan with no last name, Marissa Salta, Rachel Robbins, Jason with no last name, Jerry Stone, April Daniels, David Divjak, Shane McCain, Morgan Wood, Jacob Fuller, Leah Egan. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
The Egan sisters are around. Thank you. Patrick McNally, Jenna Pierce, Benny with no last name, Pat with no last name, Alexa Speed, Ryle Kittle. I think it's Kyle Riddle, and he switched some letters on purpose. Jen Inglis, Trenton Urbane, Tiffany Ingle, Matt Toth, Amanda Caulfield, Jen Bernardi, Jamie with no last name, Richard Hahn, Eric Sinan, Amanda Hickling, Justine Power, Kedzie Arrington, Colleen McNulty, Anna Taylor with no last name. No, Taylor L. That's what it is. Jarena Dickey, Chris Walkowski, I think, Alexandria with no last name. Stephanie, Swanik, Ryan Brewer, Don Arnu, Jason Allen, Ryan Rodriguez, Drew Statham, Lisa Hilliard, Savannah Davis, Kara Bjorkquist, Conley, Dalton Sargent, Dyke Memes, again. That's pretty impressive. Taylor Morris, Heather Morrison, John Allen, Adam Reeves, Adam Apple, Michelle Neal, Lonnie Quirion, Isabel with no last name, Brad Kiesling, Josh Foltz, Jess with no last name, Maddie Rose, Eric Scherson, Emily Alween, Elizabeth Milbert, C. Lynn Cieslick, Barbara Miller, Joanna James, Lauren Sullivan, Matt Clark, Ernesto Ramiro, Roland Parr, Whitney Eskridge, Jason with no last name, Anne-Marie Wintermeyer, Noel Lopez, Sherry Supa, Max J, Matt Joy, Tracy Hicks, Robin Blindy, Sulik, no, David with no last name, Nick Gable, we're closing in on it, Ned McDermott, Joshua Schaefer, Kyle Alexander, Leon Fennessy, Vanessa with no last name, Ray Sanders, Stephanie Loftus, Savannah Lucera, Mara Spencieri, Mary Faust, thank you, Mary, Nicholas Walters, Farah Khan, Lindsay Martin, Alexi Gonzalez, Jason Edwards, Lauren Prince, Luke Beasley, 10FB, Jason Covert, Kyle Ondurko, Barbie Joe, Marissa Silick, Anthony Sims, Cody Holgate, Devin Heidbrecht, Rohan Rowan Bahaj. Sorry, Rohan. Lindsay Aronson, David Daniels, Teresa Arnold Pritchard, Ashley Tegeler, Audrey Helu, Jace Childers. By the way, Jace Childers is the guy that I talked about in the bonus episode that I did. And he donated to the show. Thank you so much, awesome. Jace. That's amazing.
Definitely.
Annie Martin, Jonathan Carcamo, Mike Vaccaro, Jessica Norton, Jana Dickens, Nell Mansilla, Rebecca Rose, Catachino, Brittany Cole, Mary Wenner, Marquita, Beth Rooney, Linda McNamara, Zoe Bonfonte, Chris Love, Matt McLean, Ash Lavati, Samantha Diffendaffer, Kimberly Murphy, Paul Vamos, Tamara Tromp, Anne-Marie Alb, Sarah West, the gentleman lover Andrew. No, that's what it is. It's Kimberly Murphy and her gentleman lover.
Oh, and
that's
her gentleman lover Andrew.
I'm sorry, Kimberly. Joanne Gillis, Annika, Amy Dawn, Lindsay Newman, Biff Thunderbeef, Isaac Smith, and his little man Nathan. Hang in there, you guys. That's Fuck. I don't even. Thank you so much. Keep going, Nathan. Raise that little guy strong. And Shane Strikeleather, thank you very much. Christian Nieto, Alex Hammonds, Kevin Bartlett, Jess Bozio, Amy Dawn, Julie Stoltz, Aaron Tammy, Stella Pierce, Anel Kurtik, Enel. Anal? I'm terrible at this. It
anal
can't be
kerchief?
anal. No, that can't.
Did you
be
say anal kerchief?
No, it's anal Kurtik.
Oh,
Kurtic?
God, I swear to God, I don't know where I thought you said anal kerchief.
That's
I was like, wow, how do you do that?
Amber Martin, Louise Rayfield.
It's tough to tie
John Williams. It's a balloon knot.
It's a balloon knot.
Marla Happany, Mackenzie Haroon, Janice Hill, Tyson Gibaver. I don't know if that's a U or a V. Adrian Kometz, Christopher Oliphant, Stephen Hanna, Catherine Judd, Richard Lawrence, Kim Klein is Jackie Sukup's favorite cousin. Thank you very much. Brian Johnson and his wife Liz are celebrating 9 years of marriage by donating to us.
Hey, thank you. Congratulations.
Alyssa Callan is in South Korea. Nay Hillier, Lewis Tidrick, or Kaz Tidrick. I'm trying my best. Anthony Francis, Deanna Grimes, Nathan and Cleo Calabrivis McAllister, Liz Vasquez, Jackie Sukup, Sarah, sorry. Sarah Webb, Susanna Platt, Christine Leischel, Sam Powell, Timothy Young donated both ways. Thank you, Timothy. Katrina Matichik, I think, Gregory Burr, Amanda Knight, Gary Howard. Thanks, Gary. Kelly Parsons, Stacy Ingram, Peyton Meadows, Sarah Minto. I think it's Minto. I don't know what I did. Cindy Wilkin. Stacey Ingram said that. Vera Balmer, Jude Kendall, James Martyr, Patrick O'Hare, Ashley Vio, Rebecca Beatty, Shelley Roberts from Gun Barrel, Texas.
Oh,
thank you very much.
You.
Krista Walker, Joanne Bologna. Bologna? It's Italian. Carl
Which means you said it wrong, guaranteed.
Isabel Mankey, Thomas Smith, Graham Wilson, and Carl Kirshner. You guys, thank you so much, and all of our Patreon supporters. We can't do this without you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, so much.
Yeah.
So much. Honestly, we could not do any of this without you, and we're just we're blown away by the help you give us and by the support you give us, and thank you so much for everything you do for us.
You're a real silver lining to this shit world.
I would say so. Yeah, you guys are the best thing about it. Yeah. So how can they find you and tell you that you're living a shit world, but you're a silver lining?
You all know where to find me, and if you don't, then you weren't paying attention, and that's fine too. I appreciate you. Thank you. Where can they find you?
Nowhere. I'm hiding. You know where I'm at.
Thank you, guys.
You can find me. Thank you for everything. You guys are fucking awesome.
This world is dark as shit, and without you guys and without these shows, I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am today.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity to have a brighter day.
We'd be miserable twats. So
seriously, without this show, I would be in a loveless marriage, miserable and fucking angry every day. So thank you guys. And thanks, James.
I'd still be a Dutch prostitute. So you know what I mean? What are you going to do? So thank you.
Blisters on these ankles from those wooden shoes.
That's what I mean, man. Thank you guys for everything. Honestly, we just can't thank you enough. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.